Naomi Osamedua is a renowned mindset coach, national transformation.
Hello, and we are back to day 2 of the Personal Branding Summit, Emerge and Dominate. So I'm happy to be here, and I want to know who is live with me. I see 4 people are already live. Welcome. So share the link, start sharing the link so that others can join in. I know it's a Saturday morning, but it's a Saturday you are not going to regret. We have 3 powerful speakers lined up, and today we're not going to have the same glitches we had yesterday. So did you guys find yesterday's session awesome? I know that I did. I know that I had some aha moments when I was speaking with Bankole. And I know that when I saw the feedback from my own session, I knew that some people had aha moments. So today we're going to be touching on more of the technical aspects of personal branding. We're going to be looking at how our personal brands can, not just the science of it now, not just the art of it now and the idea of personal branding. We're going to be focusing on what personal branding is and what specific tools we'll be using. So without further ado, I'm going to bring my guest in the house. She is Naomi Osamedua. My journey started with a meeting with Naomi. I mean, I couldn't have done this without her, because Naomi consistently proves that you can come out of obscurity and take the world by storm. Naomi is somebody that I admire greatly, and I am happy to be associated with her and her brand. Her brand has come out and gone global, and she has quite a few tricks up her sleeves to ensure that anybody who is deliberately growing a brand can do what she has done. So I'm not going to waste more time. I'm just going to bring Naomi on board. Please, if you know more people who should be here, share the link, subscribe, and we're good to go. So you guys like my t-shirt, right? We're trying to be, personal branding people. Okay, so media, can we have Naomi's intro?
Naomi Osamedua is a renowned mindset coach, national transformation strategist, and global speaker. She has featured in high-impact events and spoken on stages across 4 continents. She's also known as the Sparkle Queen, as she sprinkles her sparkle effect on everything she touches. As a mindset coach, she works with impact-driven entrepreneurs, corporations, and institutions who desire more but are struggling with feeling stuck and lack clarity for the next step. She instead helps them gain self-awareness as they cut out the noise holding them back, realize their true essence so they can go from backstage to center stage and impact their world like only they can. From Nigeria to Zambia, Dubai, Egypt, India, and the USA, Naomi continues to impact thousands of entrepreneurs and personal brands with her message. She's a philanthropist and founder of Hajara's Force, a COVID-19 miracle, distributing funds to those who desperately need support. In just 6 months, alongside her power team, they have raised over $22,000, changing the lives of others. Listed among the top 100 most inspiring in Nigeria. Naomi is on a life mission to die.
Bring me back on now. All right, people. So that was Naomi's intro, and I'll be rolling in Naomi in a minute. Just want to acknowledge Blessing Ezema, Nugget Hub TV, and Odin, because I'm not going to be able to pronounce that name properly. Chizogulum Odinenye. I want to, yeah, glad to be here. Oh, I'm excited. You were here yesterday. That's awesome. So without wasting more time, we're on a schedule. So Naomi will be coming live in a minute. Media, please usher in Naomi. Hello,
Hello.
Naomi. Can you hear us?
Loud and clear. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear. So how are you, Naomi?
Fantastic. I'm great. I'm blessed. I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to be a part of this amazing, amazing summit. Emerge and dominate.
Yes, yes. And I was just sharing with the audience just before you came live that my on the 31st of December, on the 31st
Mm-hmm.
of December, I had a session with you live by design, and I made
Mm-hmm.
up my mind that I was not going to be ordinary. At that time, I
Wow.
didn't know anything about personal branding.
Hmm.
I just knew that I had a message and I wanted to share that message with the world. And just interacting with you on that day gave me an aha moment. I'm pretty sure that by the end of today's session, a couple of people are going to have aha moments as well. So,
Thank you.
Naomi, you ready for us? Are
I'm
you ready
ready.
for us?
I'm
So you
ready,
take your
ready,
session for a
ready.
bit, and then so Naomi is going to be sharing with some slides. Her slides are
Yes.
very powerful. They're more powerful than seeing her face right now. So
Yes.
she's going to be telling us her journey, her story, and then I'm going to be coming back live to ask her questions, to take your questions, and ask her questions of my own to see how we can make sure next year is better. So Naomi, I am stepping out of the stage and leaving you to own the stage.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Oh, I can't hear your sound anymore. Can you guys still hear me? I'm checking the comments. Please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. Ooh.
Can't hear me anymore. Okay, what happened? Okay, so Naomi is trying to upload her slides. Naomi is trying to upload her slides. She has some powerful slides, and pictures speak a thousand words. I think her journey is best expressed in her slides. Yes, Naomi, we can hear you loud and clear. Are you back on now?
Yes, I am back. I'm
Okay.
back on.
Okay.
I'm
So
back on.
you may not hear me when I step off the stage for a bit, but I'm going to step up. I can hear everything you're saying, and I'll be saying things in the comments. So the moment you want me
Okay,
to come live, I'll let you know, and then I'll come on here.
fantastic.
All right.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I'm going to be looking out. So, welcome everybody. Please let me know where you're joining me from around the world. I'm always, always so curious about where people are. So please let me know where you are in the world. I'm interested. I want to know where you are in the world. Let me know where you are in the world. Let me know where you are in the world. Not sure. Okay, I know what's happening. Um, keep your comments coming in. Keep your comments coming in. I needed to open my slide before I can share it. Okay. Watching from Abuja. Oh my God, who's in Abuja? All right, let's do this. Let us do this. Because Ochudo is so dear to my heart, I went above and beyond. So, my topic is building brand visibility for your business with live videos in 5 easy steps. That was my topic. But I don't even know how many steps I have for you today. And I just want you to sit tight in the next 35 minutes. I am going to run through this. And I promise you, you are going to have a great time. Of course, there will be time for questions. So I see you from Abidjan. Ooh, FCT, Emo State. Thank you so much. Ebony, welcome, welcome, welcome. Again, please share this. Reach out to your friends, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and get people here. This is one day that you don't want to miss. And this is the class. This is the class that is really, really, really going to not just excite you, but push you. And I'm so thankful for OC for having me, and well done to the entire team. OC shared her journey with me. It was 2017. I can't forget December. I had just come from Zambia. I went to speak for the first time internationally since I started my journey online as a live streaming strategist. And I had a very strong message, and it was really about showing people the power that they had just by simply leveraging live videos. I'm also going to share my stories with you. So you really, really want to stay close. With that being said, let's get into class. So this is building brand visibility for your business with live videos in many, 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 many steps. So I'm going to be sharing with you all you need to start and thrive as you deliver online. All right. So I'm going to ask a question, and I'm checking the comments. So talk to me. Do you want the hard way or the shortcut? Which would you rather have? Two options, the hard way or the shortcut. Tell me, what do you want? Tell me what you want in the comments, the hard way or the shortcut. And even as you're telling me, I want you to know this, that anyone can be great for a minute. Anyone can be great for a minute. And so emerge and dominate. Can you see the second word? Dominate. It's not emerge and disappear. It's emerge and dominate, meaning you show up and you continue to show up. And even when your time on earth is up, you continue to show up. And there's so many people who are long gone, but till today, we're still celebrating their lives. We're still reading their books. We're still being blessed by their messages. And so although they're gone, like physically, they've left the earth, their legacy lives on. That is what we mean by emerging and dominating. Anyone can be great for a minute, but that is not you. This is why on a Saturday morning, you will show up at 11 a.m. West African time to listen to something that will take you to the next level. And I want to say congratulations. I want to say congratulations for making this decision. And even if you will catch this on the replay, congratulations to you as well. Because there is a difference between those who desire change and those who go after change. Maya Angelou says, people will forget what you said, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Now, what we say or do has an impact on how people feel, and choosing to serve your audience online should not be any different. So when we talk about live streaming, I'm talking about the way you would react and treat people if you were meeting them in the same room should not be any different from how you would treat people online. And you cannot have the mindset of, oh, it doesn't matter. We're not even in the same place anyway. No, 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 no. It matters a lot. It will tell if your brand will dominate or not. Okay? Now, what is all the fuss about brand visibility? What is all the fuss about brand visibility? Let me start by saying this. Live streaming videos offers you seemingly endless possibilities for connecting with your audience, meaning it doesn't matter what you know. It doesn't matter what you can do. If you are not being seen and heard, sweetheart, it is as good as you not existing in the first place. I'll say that again for the people at the back of the room. If you are not being seen and heard, it doesn't matter what you are good at, even if you have the cure for cancer, even if you have the cure for AIDS, even if you have the cure for coronavirus, if you're not being seen and heard, it is as good as you not existing in the first place. And right here on this screen is a powerful tool, that I used to go from being a stay-at-home mom 5 years ago to becoming a two-time TEDx speaker, a global brand ambassador, a global influencer, a published author, and the list is endless. Currently, I serve clients in over 20 countries. Can I shock you? I'm still a stay-at-home mom. Can I shock you? I'm still a stay-at-home mom. In case you missed that, I'm a stay-at-home mom. You can add with a sauce. A stay-at-home mom with a sauce. Come on now. According to Facebook, users are 3 times as likely to watch a live video as compared to a non-live video. I'm trying to show you what all the fuss is about because you're like, Naomi, I can feel the energy. You haven't felt it. I'm coming. I'm still booting. I'm still booting. Because what I'm sharing with you, this is not textbook knowledge. This is my journey. This is my journey. 5 years I've been in the game, and I'm going to show you my receipts in case you are still doubting. I've heard about it. Everybody is online. How am I going to show up? Who's going to listen to me? I'm coming. Keep listening. Now, the first step to using live video marketing to grow your business, to grow your brand, to emerge and dominate is for you to get started. So tell me, who here is using live videos? Who here is consistent with live videos? I'm not talking about the one-hit wonders, the ones that will go live today. We will not see them in 6 months. I'm giving you practical steps today. So tell me, are you currently doing videos? Are you one-hit wonder? Just be identifying yourselves in the comments. I've started, put it there. I've never thought about it, put it there. I'm a one-hit wonder, put it there. Because we have to start this journey. There is no emerging and dominating if we do not start this journey. So tell me in the comments. So let's talk about online brand visibility. A lot of times people think it's complicated. Oh, I have to have this kind of gadget. Can you see the screen? And this is why I wanted to use slides, because I really wanted to show you, pictures. Like OC said, pictures say 1,000 words. A lot of people think about, showing up online, and they're thinking gadgets. They're thinking, all of this expensive equipment. I'm sorry. It's really not that complicated. You have a smartphone and internet connection. That's all you need. Oh, I'm seeing all my one-hit wonders. Well done. Welcome. Welcome, my people. Onaja says I've started. May you continue. Welcome, my people, all my one-hit wonders. I have a message for you. I'm here for you today. All right. So, but before we go further, let's look at some myths that people, hold on to. There's the one that says, I have to be a natural born speaker. Naomi, I already love the way you sound. So you see, it's people like you that can do live videos. Wrong answer. Wrong answer. There is nothing about I have to be a natural born speaker. There are lots of things you're doing right now that you were not born with naturally. I think it's what is important is you having a desire to be to live to the fullness of all that God has blessed you with. The last line of my profile is I'm on a mission to die empty. I don't want to take anything that God has blessed me with to the grave, meaning I show up every day I wake up. I am on the road to dying empty. And live streaming is a powerful way. I said earlier, right now I'm serving clients in 20 countries. I am still in the comfort of my home. How else can I be doing that if I wasn't taking advantage of a tool like this? So it's a desire. And I want you to put that in the comments, a desire. It's a desire. You have to desire this. You have to desire this. You can always improve on yourself. People come to me a lot to say, teach me, I want to be a better speaker. Do you know what my answer is? You better get speaking. You want to be a better speaker? Start speaking. The next thing, people will reject and criticize me. Well, welcome to the world. Because whether you do or not, people will reject and people will criticize you. But let me tell you quickly how I deal with this. I've come to this stage. I turned 42 a few months ago, as of the time of this recording. And I've come to understand in my 42 years of existence that a lot of people have issues. And sometimes the way they treat you or the way they react to your dreams and your visions is as a result of how they see themselves. Meaning, if you go to someone or if you meet someone who does not think highly of themselves, who do not think they have anything to offer this world, Of course, when you show up and they're in your circle, they will pull you down. They will pull you down because they can't understand why you are trying to attain dreams and visions and goals when they want to be average. So, can I please ask you a question? Who is in your circle? Come on now. Who is in your circle? Because we are at the end of 2020, and you need to determine today if you want to emerge and dominate. There are some people that will not enter 2021 with you unless you're not ready. Unless you're not ready. Moving on. Great public speakers are not nervous. Oh my goodness. Last year, I was on the TEDx stage in Providence, Rhode Island. I was the only African who was selected out of over 500 participants to be on that stage. It was October 5th, 2019. October 4th, I felt fear, the kind of fear that I've never felt in my life. The only thing that made me do this, like go on the stage the next day, was the fact that I could not enter a plane and be coming back to Nigeria immediately. I just could not leave. I freaked out. One kind of hot poo poo. Okay, God have mercy. Hot poo poo. I ran into the toilets. Oh, Lord have mercy. If there's anything about me, guys, I keep it real. I keep it real. I keep it real. Hot number two. And I knew it was fear. Yes, you can laugh. Mado. Hot. It was hot. But I knew it was fear. I knew it was fear. And so, I started, pumping myself, psyching myself, reached out to a friend of mine. She was supposed to come in from Seattle, but she couldn't make it. My sister was flying in from Toronto, but she was not arriving until the early hours of that morning. So I was alone in the apartment that the organization had given me and my maker. But I got on that phone call. I did my talk. I psyched myself up. I mean, of course, I was also in a state of prayer because I knew it was huge. It was a big deal. Everybody knew this was happening. And so at the end of my talk, people are going to be like, let's go and watch if she represented us or if she if she failed. So that it was like I was carrying the entire weight of the African continent on my shoulders. And so, yes, great public speakers are nervous. If you ever watch my TED Talk, if you haven't seen it, you can send me a DM on Instagram and I'm going to tell you how and ask me for the link. I want you to observe something when you're watching my talk. Now, if I don't tell you, you will not know. But all through, I was rubbing my hands together, unless when I needed to express my hands. That was what I was using to calm my nerves. The first day I shared it publicly, people were like, no, it wasn't obvious. I was like, yes, I know it wasn't obvious, but that's the back end story that I just told you. The next myth, your English has to be perfect with no native accents. Come on. I have clients who have gone live in their local dialect and they have made money. They have sold products. People that didn't understand asked them, please interpret in English. So it has nothing to do with your accent. If you follow Real Worry Picking on Instagram, it's pidgin English. I saw one time she was even going to do a course on how to speak Worry Pidgin. I grew up in Worry, so I love her. Like correct pidgin English. But I also grew up overseas. In case you're like, but you're not sounding like a Worry girl. So I grew up in Southeast Asia. So in an expatriate community, and you can feel a little bit of an accent there. But truth is, I'm a correct Worry girl. I follow so many internet marketers who don't have English as their first language. And they don't speak English as a first language, but yet it has never prevented me from buying from them because they have so much value to offer. So this is just a myth that, I have to have an accent, my English has to be perfect. I have to speak like an American or a British person. I'm a correct Worry girl. Someone is like, you're not sounding Worry like area. Another myth, you have to be more educated than your audience. That is not true. I once walked into a room to speak to a group of medical directors. Like the youngest in the room was probably in their 50s. The oldest probably close to their 80s. So age-wise, I was no match. These were people who owned some of the biggest hospitals in Abuja, and they needed me to come speak to them about brand visibility, this same topic. That was like, Father God, help me. But the moment I walked into the room, come on now, come on now, I broke the ice with a story. I walked out of that room with over 3.5 million naira. Let me just drop that there. In case you missed it, someone please type it, 3.5 million naira. I walked out of that room, a room filled with, like, I'm sure their children are my age mates. So in age, in education, I was no match. But guess what? Look, you need to understand that you have a secret sauce. I need you to put that in the comments. I have a secret sauce. My secret sauce is called the sparkle effect. You can't listen to me and remain the same. It doesn't even matter if village people have been pursuing you. The moment you hear my voice, they disappear. They disappear because it is the grace that I carry. And so let's just understand that you are special. There is something you carry and the world needs it. So when you emerge and when you choose to dominate, it will not by being regular. It will not be by being regular. It will not be by being average. It will happen when you know who you are and what you carry. Question now is, who are you and what do you carry? Because you carry something. Now you have to do the work to find out what it is you carry. That's why as the year is ending, you know those people around you. And I don't know why I keep talking about people, but if there are people around you who will not allow you to be great, who before you say, I was thinking of this thing, they're like, you've started, you've come again, you've come again, you and your 1 million ideas, and then you now chill, you now chill. Okay. Moving on. Now, why you should consider starting or scaling your brand visibility with live videos right now, not tomorrow, right now. Let me show you why. Because it will help you share your brand message. It will open an extra income stream. You will build brand credibility. You can speak from the comfort of your location. You can get more target leads and customers. You can sell your high ticket premium programs. You can go from backstage to the center stage. Are you with me? Tell me in the comments if you're flowing, if you're getting value from this, because I'm still under introduction. I need you to know. I need to know that you're getting value from this. Tell me in the comments. And you see that sell your high ticket premium programs. There was a stage I spoke on in July. Someone's birthday, just like this, Osi invited me. Person called me. I'm like, sure, I'll come. My topic, you know me, I know my secret sauce. Keep me there. And so I go, I do my talk. And at the end, I don't even promote anything. I'm like, hey guys, I do free coaching on Wednesdays. Come hang out with me. This was Monday. Wednesday, I'm doing free coaching. And so I just see a comment, how can I work with you? And I tell the person, go, send me a DM. As soon as I'm done, I'm going to respond. I go to the DM after my session and she's like, oh, I'm in the UK. I heard you speak on this platform and I would love to work with you. I hope it's not a problem. I'm like, oh, no, cool. I have clients everywhere. So let's take this to WhatsApp because I needed to do a discovery call. So with my one-on-one clients, because the budget it's premium, right? So I'm talking about premium programs. I need to get on the phone with them. And so I get on the phone with her Wednesday. We closed the deal. And as at then, one of my high ticket programs was 5,000 US dollars, which came to 4,000 British pounds. In Naira, as at then, it was 2.2 million. By Thursday, somebody put Thursday in the comment. Please put Thursday in the comment. Somebody else, I want you to put this number. By Thursday, this total stranger, she heard about me for the first time on Monday, paid me 2.2 million naira. Somebody put 2.2 million there. Let's move. Now, this is why most people fail at going live. They're overthinking the process. They fear that people will judge them. They may have never tried learning from someone who knows how to teach them in a way that they can understand. And tonight, or rather today, I want you to know that I'm here to demystify anything that has kept you behind the scenes, because the center stage does not forbid you. The center stage does not forbid you. Somebody else put that in the comments. The center stage does not forbid me. It's not for a select few. It's not for people who grew up in America. No, my darling. The center stage is for you. It's for you. It's for you. And that's why you are here. You are here to emerge and dominate. That's all. That's all. Question now is, are you going to take all the lessons? I mean, Osi and her team, they've gone the extra mile to bring, some of the, brightest minds and the most powerful speakers out there, some of whom I know personally. And you cannot afford to remain the same. We should be hearing 6 months from now. It was from Emerge and Dominate I got this idea. It was after Emerge and Dominate I launched out. It was after Emerge and Dominate I opened the stream of income. Now you're wondering, okay, Naomi, sharp mouth. Why should I care about what you have to say? Sounds good so far, but who are you? And what is so special about you? Let's go on a journey. So this was how I started on Periscope, 2015. Just minding my business. I wasn't a social media person. I wasn't really out there. I didn't even like social media. But when I found the platform of Periscope, I was intrigued and I started saying, why be local when you can be global? Because I saw how, with the touch of a button, I could connect with the world. Now, before I started my journey, this was all I knew Periscope to be. I didn't know it was actually this. It was an app. And so October 11, 2015, the day my journey began, I hit the go live button and I never looked back. You see the circles here. This map, you can still find it on Periscope. Now, as of this date, there was no Facebook Live, there was no Instagram Live. So I'm one of those you can call an early adopter. I came on board early. Now, these red dots are red circles are those who are live. These blue are those who have gone live, and so people can click on blue to watch the replay. When I started live streaming, people would come in and tell me, you are the only one who is live on the African continent. So I took this picture on a random day, but in my days, you would see just one red dot on the entire African continent, and that was me. It was scary. I was afraid. What am I even going to say? People thought I was crazy. People laughed at me. People mocked me. But can I shock you? Tell me, shock me, Naomi. Tell me, shock me. Tell me, shock me. Shock me, Naomi. Ah, within 6 months of showing up live consistently, I wrote a book. It's on Amazon. Socially Speaking, My Periscope Miracles. And I shared how I'm making a difference in the world, all the way from Africa, using Periscope. On my 6 month anniversary, my channel trended, and I became the first African woman to trend on Periscope. And so today, people still call me, Esther, go away. She said, electrocute me. No, 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 it's not that serious. So today, people still call me the African queen of live streaming. Fantastic. Guess what happened? The moment my book came out, we're talking about brand visibility, using videos. This is it. This is the story. This is my story. This is my song. The Guardian came for me and said, we want to feature you. I'm like, I don't live in Lagos. They said, no, just send us your pictures. We'll send you the questions, answer, and we're going to publish your story. And so if you Google me, you're going to see this article and so many more, from stay-at-home mom to international best-selling author. Come on now. I'm not done. Last year, 2019, I picked up 4 international awards. This was me on the stage at the Women Economic Forum in New Delhi. Beside me, this is Dr. Harbeen Arora. She is among the list of the most reputable people on earth, the most reputable people on earth. I have a direct contact with this woman. She is so dear to my heart. We were together again in Egypt just before COVID. Guess how I got on this stage? Someone found me live on Instagram. Somebody put Instagram in the comments. The lady who got me to this stage, Niharika, oh, she's not in this picture, but that's her arm there. That's her right there. Because I had to come up to pick my award, and these were some of the top lady. This is an ambassador's wife, the Kingdom of Lesotho. This is the ambassador's wife, and these are some other top women. So this arm right here is Niharika's arm. She found me on Instagram Live. This was me on the 700 Club. This interview was 3 years ago, but guess what? Every day, people still send me messages. I just watched you on channels, on Dove, on AIT. They keep airing this interview. What was I doing? I was sharing my story about live streaming. I couldn't have been in India and not go to the Taj Mahal. Now, this is one of the seven wonders of the world. Do you know, speaking has taken me to at least four wonders of the world, from the Burj Khalifa to the pyramids in Egypt, to the Taj Mahal, to Victoria Falls in Zambia. The list is endless. When I got selected to speak at TEDx, legit.ng picked up the news. Nobody called me. They did a feature on me. And in this article, they put a link direct to my Instagram page. You see this brand visibility that we're talking about? I'm showing you the receipts because in case you are doubting, in case you have been going live and you have not seen anything, I want you to see something. I want you to see something right now. I want you to see something. The same 2019, I picked up a second international award at the Grand Hyatt in Dubai. I became a brand ambassador for a travel company. They sponsored my trip to TEDx Providence for my rehearsal in September and the actual event in October. I had the privilege of being at New York Fashion Week. I spoke on a yacht. This was in Dubai, same last year. I could not have imagined this. Cover girl. I became a cover girl. This arcade is Vanguard. Allure is Vanguard. They picked up my news when I was going for TEDx. By May this year, they called me. You can see the date, May 31st. They called me just a few days to this date. And they were like, oh, Naomi, we featured you before, but we've never made you our cover girl on Allure. Send us your picture. I don't pay for PR. I go live. I go live. On the day that people are looking for the solution that you carry, please tell me, will they find you? The only difference is they can find me. They can see me. The only difference is they can find me. There's nothing spectacular. People who know me, I'm a regular girl. I can play. I can laugh. You will even walk past me. There's nothing fantastic about this, Naomi. Just the fact that I know my secret sauce. I'm on a mission to die empty. And then I'm going live. TW came. They featured me. Women we love. Let me shock you. The week TW featured me, Adesua Oyunekwe had interviewed me months earlier. She now published my talk with her. So some of you might not know, but at the age of 22, I ran away from home. You have to listen to my TED talk because there is no time to take you on that journey. And I needed to throw that in because someone needs to understand that at some point there was nothing good about my life. I was written off as useless. And so it is to the glory of God that I can share this journey with you because at a point in my life, there was nothing good about my life. Okay. So again, I will send the link. I can even give it to Ochudo. So I wanted to share these two things because remember that client I said paid me 2.2 million by Thursday. After she found me on that platform on Monday, she told me, Naomi, I went to YouTube, I watched your TED talk, and I watched an interview with a lady at Desua. She couldn't pronounce Oyunekwe. I said Oyunekwe, and she said yes. I watched those two interviews, and I said to myself, this woman has lived life. I want her to be my coach. As at then, I was not 42, I was 41. This woman was 55. She just turned 56. She has two sons who are in their 20s. A 55-year-old woman came to me to say, Naomi, you have lived life, because she saw me, because she watched me. This TEDx Providence was because of someone who knew me from Periscope. Too many stories. Let's get to the matter. But before we get to the meat of the matter, I decided to jump on how it started and how it's going. Remember, I said we started October 2015, right? October 11th. Well, this October, our 5th year anniversary, guess where we were? So I started from my phone, but on October, I think it was October 18th or 19th, a week after our 5th year anniversary, we were on the billboard at Times Square, New York. Please, somebody put Times Square. Somebody else put New York in the comments. From my phone to Times Square, New York. If you don't know, Times Square, New York is also called the center of the universe. When I was in New York before my TED Talk, I was on the streets at Times Square. It will blow your mind away. It is the most lit street in the world that even from space, astronauts can pinpoint Times Square because of the lights from Times Square. From phone to Times Square, New York. Now, have I earned your trust? Can I now tell you in like 10 minutes how you can emerge and dominate using live videos? Have I earned your trust? Let's go. Because leadership flows to the one who knows. Leadership flows to the one who knows. According to the Forrester research, 1 minute of video is equivalent to 1.8 million words. 1 minute of video. Now you have options. There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Snapchat. Yes, you can apply to go live on LinkedIn. There's Zoom, there's Webinar Jam. There's so many platforms you can leverage. Did you know that Facebook generates 8 billion video views on an average day? The demand for video is here and it is growing. And I would often say, if they say video is the future, live videos is the future of that future. These are some of the statistics. I'll just take two here. Facebook Live videos produce 6 times as many interactions as traditional videos. In case you are saying, you know what, Naomi, I hear you, but I'll rather record a video. How about the fact that Facebook Live search popularity increased by 330% in just 1 year? This is one of my clients, and she said to me, Naomi, I was scared, and my mind was busy telling me how I can't do it. And maybe you are like Ify, and you're like, oh no, I can't do this, Naomi. This is great, but I'm afraid. Calm down, calm down. Stay with me. So, what do you need to get started? Simply this: a smartphone and internet connection. That's what you need to start your journey. Don't let anybody tell you it is complicated. You may want to get a tripod to free your hands. That's okay. You may want to get lights. That's okay if you want to stream at night. But for years, when I was streaming, this was my hack. I would stay in front of the mirror. Go and try it now or after my session. Just stand and make sure your face is toward the window and then press your camera. The sun kiss on your skin, nothing beats it. So for a long time, I would always go live during the day because of my kids. I still prefer daytime live sessions. You barely see me live at night. And so for years, I didn't have a ring light until much later. It was last year when I went to the US, I actually got a ring light because it was just not something I needed. But when I started doing night sessions, then I felt the need to brighten up my space. But during the day, you can just stay in front of the mirror, in front of the window, and you have this beautiful sun kiss on your skin. So using video in your growth strategy in 2021 will really truly empower you to not just grow your database, but help you grow your business, help you emerge and dominate. Now, this is your mission. It is to ensure that your videos stand out and become your competitive advantage and give you the push you need to become the thought leader in your space. But you're like, okay, Naomi, but how? Let me just give you a few more benefits because you can reach a wider audience that is not just local, but global. I've already talked about attracting media attention for free. I've shared about some of the stages I've been booked on. On this screen, these 4 images were between October and December last year. So October, I was at TEDx Providence. Some ladies who knew me from my Periscope days knew I was going to be in the area. They flew me into Boston to have a fireside chat. One of the things they said when they introduced me was we all started together on Periscope, but Naomi never stopped. May you not just be inspired by my journey today. May you never stop showing up. May you never be inspired by all the speakers today, yesterday. May you not just be inspired. May you never stop. That was how they introduced me. By November, I was in Dubai. By December, I was in Kano. Last year was like, even before coronavirus, I already said I was going to rest this year because I was all over the place to the glory of God. So, how do you use live videos? Tell your brand story, conduct trainings, host Q&A sessions, take us behind the scenes. If you have physical products, give us a sneak peek on Creation Day. If you don't have physical products, take us through your day and tell us what goes on behind the scenes. Host interviews, collaborate with other business people, bring experts, ask OC to come and ginger your audience. Are you there?
I just came up. I'm like, ask Kosi to come and drag you.
Awesome. Take us on a tour during a live event. Promote your own events. This is one of my clients. She said to me, working with you opened my mind to the possibility that I within my surrounding, had and within my surrounding, but I did not know. And I'm hoping that today I'm opening your eyes to what is possible because we are in the new normal era. You can no longer hide. If your business is not online right now, you are leaving so much on the table. But let me also stress this. Ambition without implementation is a ridiculous delusion. You cannot take all that you are learning and not do anything. If you do not implement, if you do not hit that button, if you do not go live, then you are really acting delusional. And I know you are not because your showing up here means you are ready to emerge and dominate. Before you show up on camera, these are just a few checklists. I'm almost done. Your appearance matters because we will see you before we hear you. So you have to make it a point of choosing an outfit that feels comfortable and looks put together because the way you are dressed might be the way you are addressed. So please take the time to groom yourself. I did not say go and buy designer outfits. Wear what feels comfortable, something well tailored. Don't wear something wrinkled. Don't leave your hair scattered. Don't wear hair nets if you're a lady and go live. Check your surroundings. If your wall is not fine, find a cloth and hang there. Find a beautiful 1,000 naira Ankara and hang behind your back. There are no excuses. If you can get a backdrop, get it. No excuses about, my house is not fine yet. My wall. Time will fail me to tell you about the wall in my first house. Time will fail me. Come with a smile. Smile. It works wonders. I smile a lot. And it's important because when people are coming into your live broadcast, there has to be something that is welcoming. There has to be something that is inviting them and pulling them in to hear the awesomeness that you are. When you're on camera, don't slouch. Look confident. Don't slouch. Don't look like the weight of the world is on your back. Body language. People will read your body language. So if you're expressive like me, go ahead and express yourself, but don't do it too much because people are reading all these things. How you present yourself tells people a lot about what you feel inside. That's why I said know what your secret sauce is. Script. For people who might say, Naomi, this is good, but what if I forget what I want to say? Sweetheart, just get a stick note and write 1, 2, 3 points that you want to share. Don't cram everything, or don't write your entire speech. Just 1, 2, 3. Have a script. It will help you. You say, Naomi, I hear, oh, this is sweet. Oh my God, you have to go. Quick, 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 quick. Tell me, I'm shy. Give yourself a reason to show up now. And let me give you one. There are people who are losing sleep over the things you can do in your sleep. So please show up. Show up not for you, show up for them. It gives me great joy to hear OC say that I was a part of her journey. Now, OC launched out. We are all here. Imagine if OC didn't launch out. And I know she's spoken internationally. Her brand has exploded over the last few years. And I know she's also worked with some other amazing coaches. But I'm glad that as she's counting the people that are part of her journey, me, myself, I'm among. How many people will count you inside their journey, inside their story? Tomorrow they're on CNN. Can they even mention, oh Lord, let me move. Tip number 2, boost your confidence. Charge yourself up. Create positive affirmations. I'm above. When I speak, people will listen. When I open my mouth, God will fill me with wisdom. Whatever works for you, speak life. Speak life. Speak life. Aristotle says no great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. It takes a little bit of madness to do the things that I've talked about because people are going to call you crazy. People are going to think, ah, what's your own? You have joined the Go Live gang. You have joined the Go Live gang.
Gang.
Oh my goodness. Take the words of Aristotle. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. So it's okay. Can I run through this quickly? Oh, see, how many more minutes do I have? Let me just run through quickly. I'm
You have
almost done.
2 minutes. 2 minutes.
2 minutes. Okay. Don't of live videos for business. This is very important. When you start, don't ever say, let's wait for others to come in. It's wrong because it's disrespectful to those who showed up early. Instead, the moment you go live, where are you joining me from? Hello, introduce yourself. Just be talking. Just be talking. Even if nobody's there, keep talking. Just be talking. This is who I am. This is the topic. Just be doing introduction. The moment you see cite one person, oh well, welcome, welcome. Where are you joining us from? It is important. Don't you say, let's wait for others to come in because people will watch your replay. If you go on Instagram and catch any of my replays, the moment you see my face, I've started talking. I've started talking because I know you don't have time to waste. So why will I waste your time? Number 2, don't expect your early videos to be perfect. Number 3, don't give up. Trust the process. If I gave up after year 1, if I gave up when people were laughing at me and criticizing me, we will not be here today. Okay. And number 4, don't be a one-hit wonder. Don't be a one-hit wonder. And finally, your stories matter. You matter and your stories matter. The experiences that you've been through, all the stages I've been on across the world in the last 3 years, I've spoken on 4 continents. It is my story of running away from home at 22 that has taken me around the world. And so, whatever your story is, I want you to know today that your story is your gift. All right. And so, if you're not there top of mind when your prospects are ready to buy, I want you to know that your competitors will be. If you are not there top of mind when your prospects are ready to buy, your competitors will be. So I wanted to show you the shortcuts, but OC is here. So I'm going to leave the shortcuts. Instead, what you can do is come to Instagram and I will tell you about all the wonderful things I have for you. So, this is what you need to look for. One of the things I want to give to some people who are going to come to Instagram and speak to me today is I have a brand authority program and it's a coaching program. It's premium, but beyond that, there's also my ultimate brand visibility bundle. But those who come today, who pick any of these programs, are going to get this masterclass. Because from one stage 2 months ago, I earned over $25,000. I did not leave my house. I did not leave my house. One stage gave me $25,000. So again, sorry, OC, I just want to mention this. One of the reasons I always encourage people to, do business with me is because when you do business with us at the Sparkle with Naomi company, 20% of everything that you pay for goes into Hajara's purse. We started this during the lockdown. We started with 500 naira. Today, we've actually given over 27,000 US dollars. So we're not just, inspiring the world, we're truly making a difference. And when you purchase from the Sparkle with Naomi company, this is what you're helping us do. So that's my handle on Instagram. And I just want you to click message. And when you come, I'm going to have a conversation with you. Thank you. I'll see you at the center stage.
So much, Naomi. Thank you so much, Naomi. You can remove the shared link, share this thing now. So thank you so much, Naomi. Every single time I have a conversation with you, you always inspire me to do more. I am so
Oh,
grateful for the time we spent here. And honestly, you are such an inspiration. It's hard to believe that your phone has taken you. I mean, when I saw the New York Times, I screamed. I was like, no way.
oh yeah, you
Right?
don't know. No, I didn't share that. It happened. It happened during NSAS, so we were very sensitive. So we never shared it publicly.
No, it's
So I
okay
just
because it might even been considered insensitive at that time. But that is such
yes.
an awesome story. Honestly, Naomi, I am so grateful you took the time to be here.
Thank you.
I know that you had to you have a lot going on at the moment,
Mm,
and so that's why you can't even show your face at the moment. Yet you were able to do this for us. I'm truly grateful, people. Please, can we
thank
show
you.
in the comment sections your hearts and your loves telling Naomi thank you very much.
I
Thank you. Her
see
energy is
them.
awesome, right? I hope you've been inspired to do something as we go into 2021. Naomi Osamedua, thank you very much for
Thank
the
you, my
time.
love. Thank you for having me. Thank you for
We are
having me.
grateful to have you here.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
we
I know we don't have time for questions, so they can just, send me a
Yeah,
DM
so
on
leave your
Instagram.
questions in the comments. What will happen is we're going to direct your questions to Naomi, and
Yeah,
anything you need to find out about, we'll have them sent to her so that she can attempt to. I'll let you know if she can do a session answering all the questions that you can ask. So put up all your questions here, and then we'll take them afterwards. Thank you
thank
very much, Naomi.
you. Love you,
Cannot
girl.
be a pleasure having you here. God bless you.
Amen. Thank you.
Some people, was that awesome or what? Was that awesome? To think that just your live video can take you around the world and give you this much impact is unbelievable. Like I knew that Naomi was doing great things, but to see how far she has gone since the last cut has inspired me to make sure that I not only emerge, I dominate. Naomi is an awesome woman. You guys can hear her, right? You can feel her energy, you really need to see her because she come like so often, she's not under pressure to show up today, with her face because her stories are so powerful. However, we must move on. Thank you so much, Nami. We love you, baby. Please show us heart, show us heart, show us heart. All right, people, we have another powerful speaker in the house. He's going to be telling us a thing or two about because Nami has not told us a powerful tool called Life Day that can change your life. Now, how do you implement those goals? How do you make sure that you not only have ambition, your goals are implementable? You are able to structure them in such a way that at the end of the year, you can share a story that is similar to Naomi's. If you are here, hang in there. We'll be ringing the speaker's bio in 1 minute. Elisha Marman is an entrepreneur, a John Maxwell certified coach, an inspirational speaker, trainer, and an award-winning leadership and mindset coach. He is the convener and lead facilitator of the Winning Mindset, a widely attended goal-setting masterclass. His programs have reached over 600 youth every month in Kaduna, northern Nigeria, and his online community boasts of over 10,000 members. It is the fastest growing platform in northern Nigeria. Elisha has many entrepreneurial pursuits, including the regional coordinator of the TAC Continental Limited, a blue chip company, Nonelli Integrated Services Limited, Nonelli Properties and Investment Limited, and the Leadership Center, where he serves as CEO and co-founder. Organization Elisha Marman International focuses on leading, inspiring, and transforming lives. Elisha has a DBA from Thames Business School, Strategic Marketing Management Program from Lagos Business School, Agro Dealer Development from IFDC Arusha, Tanzania, Entrepreneurship Management from EDC Pan African University, Basic Course in Public Speaking from the Speaker Academy Lagos, and a John Maxwell certification in speaking, coaching, and teaching from Orlando, Florida, USA. He shows streams of wisdom with Nii Shoyinka.
Elisha is a multiple award winner and speaks on essential life mastery topics, including leadership and personal transformation. He is married to Chinomso Marman and they have a son. Elisha Marman is an entrepreneur.
All right, I'm back. I'm back. So, how has it been so far, people? Did you feel the energy? Yes. You are going to even get more energy. By the end of this session, you want to feel like running away. By the end of today, you will know that you don't have any excuse anymore for 2020 and beyond. So, before we bring in our speaker, a couple of people have made this summit possible. Their encouragement, their kind words, their gift in kind, and even in cash to ensure that we are able to help as many people find value for their personal brands. So in just 1 minute, let us just take a quick look at our sponsors, and then I will bring in our guest who is already on stage, backstage. I'll be featuring him here immediately. All right. So sponsors. Okay. So welcome. I'll do a feature on the sponsors at the last segment. So make sure you hang in there, okay? These people have been instrumental to even giving us the courage to do what we do. So without further ado, I'm going to usher in Mr. Elisha Marman. Can I hear the drum rolls, please? Bam! Mr. Elisha.
My big sister, how are you?
Welcome on board, sir. It is an honor and pleasure to have you here on the Emerge
The
and
pleasure is
Dominate
mine.
Branding
It's
Summit.
mine. It's my honor.
So,
My honor.
I think
Thank
I
you.
talk about, I can't remember what I made the post when I was putting out your post to tell people to join me. But I think I commented that you are a snazzy dresser. And that even if you learn how to dress, that was worth something. So Mr. Elijah is a very energetic. You see the way he's laughing. His energy is contagious. He's laughing all the time, sharing jokes, and in the middle of all those jokes, he's mixing it with pure wisdom. You guys are just getting so much value this afternoon. So, Mr. Elisha, welcome on board. We're happy to
Thank
have
you,
you
sis. The pleasure is all mine.
You're welcome. So, what will
Thank
you
you
be
so
telling us today
much.
about personal branding? What will you be sharing with us about personal branding?
My emphasis will be the fact that it has to be a goal. It has to be a goal that must be clearly defined if you are going to have it, if you are going to achieve it, if you are going to attain it. People don't just arrive at a particular place. People don't just get there. People travel there. And to travel anywhere, destinations must be clear. If you want to go global, it must be clear.
Yes.
If you want to have influence, it must be clear.
Yes.
So that's what we'll be talking about.
I'm so excited because you are touching on areas that excite me. You know, Naomi said something, ambition without implementation is rubbish, you know.
Yeah.
So now she has given us
Amazing
the
word.
ambition. She has given us permission to dream. Oh, I'm going to go live and I'm going to land in White House, right? But you are going to tell us how to implement it now. You're going to break down the steps for us to build influence and go global. See, someone is saying they love your smile. You see? You see?
Thank you. I love all of you too.
I'm going to let you have the stage for a few minutes and then I'll come back and watch because I have questions of my own that I'd like to ask. And hopefully we'll be able to take questions in this live session before our next speaker comes on. So I'm going to step out with my biro and my book to take notes on how to build. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Architect Ochudo. Thank you so much. You know how much I love you and I appreciate what you do. Thank you for the great work. Thank you for inspiring been many. Thank you for launching this platform to bring the kind of value that we're getting today. I want to celebrate Mrs. Naomi. Amazing talk. For me, it was head on. I learned a thing or two that I'll begin to implement. And so, without saying too much, I'll just go straight to say what I have to say. I've been introduced. My name is Elisha Marman, and I inspire possibility for living. Now, the theme of this conference is emerge. The theme of this conference is emerge and dominate. Two very important words. I want to clearly state that you can't do the two at the same time. You can't do the two at the same time. You have to first emerge. And in between emerging and dominating, the first thing is emerge means come out. Emerge means launch out. Emerge means come to life. Emerge means show up. But dominate means control. Dominate means stand out. Dominate means influence, leadership. And so when you emerge, in between when you emerge and when you dominate is the most important stage. And that is the stage where you stand out. You see, when you come out, a lot of things are going to happen. Your ability to stand in the face of everything that is happening is what makes you stand. And when you stand, the things that have come will pass. It will leave you standing. It is people who stand that lead. It is people who stand that have control. And so it's the same thing in business. It's the same thing in religion. It is the same thing in leadership. And so these two words are important. I need you to know. To be known, you must emerge. You must come out. You must become visible. Naomi was talking and she was saying some very simple things. You make up your mind to become visible. There are some things you can no longer start small, in as much as you can start small. So that's just about our topic. And now, dominating is about war. And wars are not won by size. Wars are won by strategy. Dominion is about overcoming. Dominion is about conquering. And it is a fight that you have to fight. You are not fighting against anybody, but you are fighting against systems and structures. And so it's important to know that to dominating in anything is a war. And war, every kind, requires clear strategy to happen. And strategy is a process, just as dominion is a process. But write this down. Dominion is the outcome of a process called progressive production. Write that down. Dominion is the outcome of a process called progressive production. Be fruitful, multiply, replenish, subdue, have dominion. It's a process, but it is the process of the same thing. To be fruitful is to be productive. To multiply is to reproduce. To distribute is to spread production. To subdue is to have enough production to dominate, to become top of mind, like Naomi said, to be everywhere before you have control. So when you begin to become productive and your productivity becomes progressive, the eventual outcome is dominion. It's dominion. Production is about results. When you consistently produce results. Now listen, emerging is about representing your values. Dominion is about you duplicating your values in many people. And so, don't forget that. Having said that, what is a brand? Brand is something we've heard again and again, so I won't go about defining a brand, but I'll say it in simple words. A brand is value represented. A brand is value represented. A brand is value represented. So when you want to emerge, you must be clear about the value, the solutions, the benefits you want to represent to the world. Because the brand is not what you say it is. The brand is what people are saying it is. The brand is about the feelings. The brand is about the emotions people get for encountering you. People get for consuming your product. People get for enjoying your service. And so the brand is more about what people say than what you say. So, and branding is the process of how you represent this value. When we're going to begin the winning mindset, in 2017, it wasn't that there were not other platforms. There were other platforms doing the same thing. Some have existed for as long as 5 years. But we came clearly by defining exactly the value we want to represent. We came clearly with the intentions we wanted to portray. We knew. So instead of us allowing people tell us what they think, we came with a plan to define what we want people to say about us. Seth Godin said, and I'll read, he said a brand is a set of that take into account for a consumer's decision to choose your product over another. A brand is a set of expectations, memories, story, relationship that accounts for decision making. Why will they pick? What is the expectations you are setting? What is the memories you are creating? What is the story you are building for people when they encounter your person, when they encounter your products, when they encounter your project? What is your story saying? What is your project saying? What is your product saying? So it's more about what people feel. It's not about what people think about what you are doing. It's your job to represent it. It's their job to say it. But you have to define it. There's a story I like so much. But before I go ahead to say the story and say 4 or 5 things, and I'll leave you, is that from today, I need you to know this. If you don't want to learn too much about branding, if you don't want to know so much, know this today. Your brand is everything you do. Your brand is everything you do. Your brand is everything you do. I've said that 3 times. Your brand is everything that you do. Because the things you do reflect who you are. Now, every sentence in your email to your clients, every social media page to your followers, every image or photo posted or shared on Instagram, on Facebook, every video you shoot, every podcast you post, every blog you write, every article, every comment, every tweet, and every retweet, everything you do sums up to represent your value. And remember, a brand is the value you represent. Everything you do. And having said that, you need to understand that if everything you do is your brand. For example, Mark Zuckerberg wears the same thing every day. Steve Jobs wore a t-shirt, a Levi jeans, and an Adidas shoes. Derele, one of our influencers in Nigeria, he's a man, but he wears high heels. His hair, crazy. That's a brand. Everything you do. So if your brand is everything you do, you must become intentional from today about everything that you do. You must become intentional today about everything you say, whether in public, whether in social media, whether in presentations. You must be ready. So, because if you don't define your value, if you don't define your, will define it for you. The market will define it for you. Now, this goal setting matter I'm talking about begins with that word. It begins with defining. It begins with being clear about the value you want to represent, the kind of person you want to be, the kind of message you want to communicate. You have to be intentional about it. You have to define it. And listen to me, when we started the winning mindset, it was clear all I wanted to do was to inspire possibility. So everything I wanted to do was to show that life is possible, success is possible, marriage is possible, business is possible. Everything I tried to do, how I live, what I wear, what I drive, where I live, everything was to represent that statement that everything is possible. So the question is, what value are you trying to represent? Have you defined that value? Is it clear what you are trying to say and what you are trying to communicate so you can connect with the market? You hear people say things like this. It doesn't matter what people think about me. It doesn't matter what people are saying about me. Ladies and gentlemen, it matters a lot, because what they think about you and what they say about you is the brand. It's the brand. You can't go on social media and post just anything you like. You can't go on social media and just write anything you want. You can't go on video and just say anything you want. You can't afford that if you want to dominate. Why? Knowledge is everywhere. Wisdom is becoming cheap, but truth is scarce. So, number one, define. Define your value, define your solutions, define the benefits you are bringing to the table. Know exactly what it is. For me, it's to inspire people to dream. For me, it's to inspire people to live. For me, it's to inspire people to want more. If I write a post, that is the goal. If I post a picture, that is a goal. If I shoot a video, that is the goal. Everything I do is centered around inspiring what is possible in another person's life. And in 3 years, we have done amazing stuff. We have amazing brands being born out of the winning mindset. Now, I'll tell you a short story and I'll tell you 3 other things. Number one, don't forget, define your brand. Now, forgive me, I'm a person of faith. So as a result of that, I like stories from the Bible. And so I'll use a Bible story. Jesus came to a particular region with his disciples for the first time. Caesarea Philippi. And he asked his disciples, who do people say I am? Who do people say the Son of Man is? Very strong question. I want to know what the market is saying about me. I want to know what clients, what congregations are saying about me. Who do people say I am? Don't forget, Jesus was the brand. He was the product. This is the answer. Some say you are John the Baptist. Others say you are Elijah. Still others say you are Jeremiah and one of those prophets. I thought he will end there. He asked a question again. And the question this time is, who do you say I am? Who do you say I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, you are the Messiah, Son of the living God. Who do people say I am? Peter answered, you are the Messiah, the Son of the living God. The question is, if Jesus wanted to know what people are saying about him, why do you think that question is important? That story happened in Luke chapter 9. In Luke chapter 4, when Jesus emerged, when Jesus came out, when Jesus came to light, he said, the Spirit is upon me. The Spirit is upon me, and because the Spirit is upon me, because my source is upon me, this is what I am bringing to the table. This is the value I represent. These are the solutions I bring to the world. Good news to the poor, healing to the brokenhearted, deliverance to the captive, sight to the blind, and freedom to the bruised. I bring solutions to this specific problem. Jesus defined his value, and that value became his brand. Number one, define it. Be clear about the value you represent. Be clear about the kind of person you want to be. Be clear about the kind of message you want to pass. Be clear about what you represent. What value, what solution do you want? Jesus defined it clearly. All right. That story, did it end there? Several chapters later, John the Baptist was caught to be killed. And John the Baptist, whom was the first person to recognize the brand called Jesus. John the Baptist was the first person to recognize that brand. But when he was in trouble, he sent two disciples to Jesus to ask this man, are you the one to come, or we should expect another? Don't forget, John the Baptist was there when Jesus emerged. Are you the one to come, or we should expect another? And Jesus answered, listen to the answer. And Jesus answered, go tell him, the blind see, the lame walk, even the dead are raised. What did Jesus send back to him? If he can remember the values I represent, he will know who I am. So Jesus sent back to him the results that came from defining his values. So number one, be clear, define it. What do you want? That is the beginning of goal setting. Being clear about what you want. Be clear, define it. What are you bringing to the table? Mrs. Naomi said to us, we are unique. There is uniqueness inside of you. Even if you want to do what someone else is doing, because you are not that someone else, there is uniqueness that you can add to that same thing. Innovation is making all things better. You can do the same thing I am doing, and you can bring your value clearly. Your uniqueness becomes clearly defined. Number two, you have to make your value a document. You have to document the values. You have to document that value you want to represent. Don't forget, the logo, the slogan, they are not the brand. They represent the brand. But if the brand exists, the brand should be represented. So document it. Represent this value in writing. Represent these values in living. But here I'm talking about documenting. Produce a logo. Produce a color. Have a slogan. For winning mindset is blue and yellow. For winning mindset is a logo with heart. And the slogan is inspiring possibilities. Why? The color blue represents responsibility. It represents wisdom, and it represents trust. And that's what I wanted the world to know. That I am reliable. That this brand can produce and bring wisdom to the table. That this brand is responsible. That this brand is stable. Blue talks about stability. For 3 years, we have been stable, doing the same thing, improving, but doing the same thing at the same time consistently. Yellow speaks about hope. Yellow speaks about positivity. Yellow speaks about energy. You can see I talk with so much energy. That is one of the value that represents us. Energy. When you come in contact with us, we give you hope. We are positive about life. So, my value, I had to pick colors that represent the value that I'm bringing to the table. It's giving it a mark that makes it easy for you to be recognized. Documenting your brand is giving it the mark that makes it easy to be recognized. I bet there's something about a post, there's something about a video, there's something about a class around Ochudo, around Miss Naomi, around Ape Harrison, that when you see, you know they are the ones. There are so many things, there are so many people doing so many things, so many the same things are happening. But you see, you have to find a way by your uniqueness to distinguish yourself. And so, documenting your brand is simply making it easy to be recognized. Thank you. you do? It was hanging on my side. It was hanging on my side. I hope everyone can hear me. If you can hear me, go to the comment and just say, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you. You know, so represent your brand in a statement, represent your brand in colors, represent your brand in logos. That means in image. Represent them. If you go to my page, you will see everything. Now, the issue here is recognition. If you cannot be easily recognized, you will not be easily chosen. Write that down. If you can't be easily recognized, you will not be easily chosen. To be easily the choice of many, you must be easily recognized. You can't be complex. You can't be difficult to define and expect people to find you easily. You can't be difficult to define and expect people to find you easily. So, now, number one, define it. Define the value you want to represent. Number two, document that value by representing it in image, in colors, and in words. Number three, design a plan. A plan is simply deciding exactly what you need to do to emerge. It is deciding exactly what needs to be done for you to gain dominion. So when we say a plan, we're saying series of steps, series of activities. So we're talking about tasks to be done. We're talking about activities to be executed. Remember what our last speaker talked about. Ambition without execution is actually a body. and you don't just execute. For execution to be effective, there has to be a plan. There has to be a strategy. If your execution will be effective, you have to plan the tasks to be executed. And so let's say, for example, we have been advised about the power of video. The question is, you are going to begin to shoot videos. Take a book. What are you going to be talking about? Itemize them as a topic. What will you be talking about in all the videos? What would you like to communicate? Is the video teaching? Is the video conversations? What do you want to say? Document them. That is you preparing a plan. Is the video going to just be only you? Is going to other people? Who would you want to be in the video? List it out. Who would you like to host? Remember, topic, because what you want to communicate will determine who you want to talk to get that message out. Go ahead. How long will each video be? How long will each video be? And lastly, how often? How many videos do I need in a year to achieve my goal? Right, and start with exactly what you have and where you are. Afford a digital camera. Change your bulbs to bigger bulbs before you are able to afford a ring light. You heard Mrs. Naomi from her phone to Times Square. If you have never been to Times Square, you would understand. I have been privileged to go there twice before. Wow. If my billboard show up on Times Square, I won't be speaking again for a very long time. I will just be posting the picture. So I respect and I value what Mrs. Naomi has accomplished. As I'm looking at this video now, I'm seeing Emerge and Dominate with the logo of Ochudo. Easy to recognize. So, design a plan. Listen to me. Any goal without a plan becomes a ghost. Any goal without a plan becomes a ghost. You will be chasing a ghost if you have no plan. Write that down. Any goal without a plan becomes a ghost. If there is no plan to reach your goal becomes a ghost. You need a plan. How are you going to post from today? If everything you are, if everything you do is your brand, what are you and how are you going to write it? Branding is how you represent the value. So how do you want to write? You will see John Obidi in every article. There is a way he writes. There is a way he writes. If you read Ochudo's post, you will see Ochudo in it. There is a way she writes. How? Now you have to have a plan. 2 years ago, I made up my mind that I was going to grow my Instagram page from 2091 followers as at that time. Today we're almost 9,000. First thing I did was I'm going to post. This is what I want to be posting. This is what I want to be talking about. So I'm going to post this thing every day. I'm going to post it 3 times every day. This is how I'm going to do it. Instead of just writing articles with my picture, I'm going to create tags. I'm going to create flyers. I defined it. And I gathered my team together. What we're supposed to post from January to December, we created all in February. We created all in February. And we automated how we were going to be posting it. You need to have a plan of action. Why? You need to take action based on a plan. Number 4, develop your plan. Act on your plan. The results are in the actions. What you have today came from an activity you executed yesterday. What you will have tomorrow will come from an activity you will execute today. What you did yesterday is not enough for tomorrow. Take action and take it massively. But remember, not every action is effective. Not every action is effective. You need to find what works and work on it. Not everything works. And so, execution is where results are translated. Execution is the place where results happen for everyone. So, when you take note of the kind of post, the kind of image, based on the brand you want to represent, go ahead and begin to do it. But for the first 1 year, my Instagram page didn't grow that much. But I was consistent. I was consistent. And this year, suddenly, everything just started shooting up. I was no longer posting 3 times a day. Sometimes I don't post 3 days. But why? Because consistency provokes engagement. Consistency provokes attention. Follow the plan that you have laid down. And after some time, check if your plan is working. If it's not working, find out what works. Ask people who are doing better and do what they do. And so remember, my sister is already here. Thank God I'm done based on what I've prepared. So remember, it begins if you are emerging, if you just want to launch out, you have an opportunity now to launch out correctly. If you have already launched out, you have an opportunity to improve
on that and dominate.
Correct, which celebrate you for. Define value. Document and represent that value using images, using words, and using images, pictures, and colors. Number 3, draw up a plan. Yeah, draw up a plan. How are you going to be doing this so you can remain consistent to generate attention and engagement for your brand? And lastly, after you have drawn up the plan, that is the time to do the real work. Take massive action. Do what needs to be done. Today, the winning mindset is everywhere. 3 years ago, it was nowhere.
Yeah.
Today is everywhere. But 3 years ago, it was nowhere. You're always attesting to everything. So thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You said value always attracts. So I'm sorry if we are attesting to it. I've seen the way you describe the energy that your color choice for your brand emanates, and I agree totally, because that's the kind of energy that you have. I see the way you represent yourself as a brand, and you are speaking volumes about showing up consistently in the same way, the same pattern. You couldn't have hit the nail on the head more. I'm truly, truly happy. I'm really glad that you try to help us see that it's not enough to hope and wish to become a personal brand. There are certain action steps that we must take to ensure that we become powerful personal brands. So I just have one question for you before we go off. You have 2 minutes, sir. Our next guest is already backstage. So, whenever it comes to, one thing I've observed about personal brands, people try to copy other brands. People recognize that your brand is onto something. It is successful. It showcases itself in a good way and all of that. But, and so they try to fashion their brands after yours. Try to bring in the same kind of energy, try to show up in the same way you do, try to use the same kind of consistency that you do. What do you advise to people who are struggling to build a brand, but they are copying someone else? Should we be copying another brand, or should we just go out and do our own thing and do trial and error?
I believe strongly that because of the way man was designed, copying is not the way to go if you want to create anything that will last very long. Some of us may look at people to get inspired, but you can't duplicate somebody else and you be an original. One of the strengths of branding is originality. You have to be in your brand is supposed to represent you. So you can't copy somebody else. It has to represent you. It has to be about the person you are and the belief, the virtues and the values that come from you. That's what you represent. So for me, I think we should let people, we should look at what people are doing so we can get inspired by what they do, but we should allow our personality and our creativity to give birth to the things we want to showcase.
Yes. Yes. You are so right. Everyone is unique, and everyone should embrace that uniqueness. So I honestly, I want to thank you so much, Mr. Marman, for bringing your energy, for bringing your infectious energy. We can't take any more. We can't take any more questions for now, but please, if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section. We will collect all the questions, and then we'll probably find a way to get them across so they can be answered for you. Please, if you're enjoying this, please subscribe. Do not forget to subscribe and share. Our next speaker is up, Mr. Chidi, and he's going to be telling us about how to use tech to do all these things that Mr. Elisha has told us. How do you have a plan? How do you define that brand? What kind of things can you use to showcase your colors, your values? How do you represent that brand consistently using tech? So our next speaker is going to be telling us about that. Mr. Elisha, it's been a pleasure having you on the Emerge and Dominate.
Thank you, sis. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Yes.
God bless you too. Love you.
We'll be seeing you in a bit. Thank you, sir. So how hot was that, people? How awesome was that? I mean, I learned something that is not, to emerge is to showcase your value. And to dominate is to replicate that value several times till it overcomes and overshadows, overtakes an area. That's a Rema right there. So thank you so much for joining in. We have our last speaker for this segment who is already hanging in there. We're going to play his bio now. Don't go away. He has a powerfully inspiring story. I told you as a teenager, he started selling companies and collecting monies in dollars before many of us even knew what phones were. So we're going to be bringing Chidi Nwogu on board in a minute after his bio. Don't go away.
Chidi Nwogu is a serial tech entrepreneur, entrepreneurial ecosystem builder, and software developer. He is a co-founder and CEO of Publisher, a digital publisher that has helped over 6,000 underserved African creatives living in low-income and disadvantaged communities to earn over $240,000 in revenue. He has been described by Convini as one of the largest digital publishers in Africa and identified by international financial corporations as one of the startups that could speed up innovation in Africa. He is the co-founder of Savvy, a global fellowship program that has equipped over 2,000 passionate, brilliant young individuals from over 100 countries with the necessary knowledge and skill that they need to start their own impact-driven businesses in a post-COVID era and succeed as social entrepreneurs. Nwogu is the winner of the Migration Entrepreneurship Prize 2020, the
Hello, so I'm back. I'm back, and I have a powerful guest in the house. So, Mr. Chidi, please, I'm inviting you on board. So I finally get to see you, Mr. Chidi. So our viewers, I've been trying to catch Mr. Chidi for like 2 weeks to talk to him. And he's been so busy, we couldn't reach him. So this is the first time I get to see his face. So Mr. Chidi, it's an honor. We're happy to have you on board. You're welcome to the Emerge and Dominate Personal Branding Summit.
Yeah, thank you. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Can the audience hear Chidi very well? I hope you can. So, Mr. Chidi, when we put out your story, it generated quite a bit of ripples. I'm sure you are getting used to that, people reacting the way they do when your story comes out. And so I cracked a joke that before many of us even knew how to use phones, you were already building and selling companies. So how did you begin? How did that journey start? I mean, why weren't you like a regular teenager? Why weren't you playing football, ensuring that you spent your time dressing cool and all of that? How did you become this kind of person that wanted to start becoming a global changer that early?
To me, I was regular. I did not think I wasn't regular. So I think it's leaned heavily on the fact that I got introduced to computers at a very early age. I think at the age of 8. So my mother bought a personal computer at home. And it began, my twin brother and I were so fascinated about it. And so we just kept using it. And every day we kept using it. And then we learned about web development. So we began to teach ourselves how to code in HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Then at 16, we transitioned into video game development. I think any kid would have done the same thing, I feel, if they had a personal computer too at their disposal at a very young age. So I think it's leaned heavily on the fact that I had access to a computer. Yeah.
I think that really did help. Even though I think that the amount of distractions today on the computers are more than they were a few years ago. Because my kids have computers. They're not, at the time I got computers for my kids, they were just about your age. But there's so much going on now on television, trying to distract them from what the computer can really do. So we have to put in a lot of effort to get them to see the power of the computer, as opposed to getting fascinated with videos and TV and all kinds of things that they can watch on TV. So we're happy to have you here. You have quite a fascinating story, and we thought that it would be great to have you on board to share with us how you were able to. You know what we get a bad rap internationally, right? And I'm sure you've experienced it once or twice. We get a bad rap internationally. I'm pretty sure that before people get to know who you are, recognize what you can do and the value you bring, there's that reaction that, oh, you come from Nigeria, you must be a scam artist. Okay, so what would you say to our audience right now who are trying, because there's an awakening in Nigeria now. A lot of young people are trying to forge new directions for themselves. They are going in different directions from what their parents did. And we're meeting a wall, something that one of our speakers who will be coming on in the later segment says is a third world fence. We have this real, fence that tries to stop us from reaching out to the international community because we are perceived as dishonest people. How were you able to put out your honesty? How were you able to carry yourself, portray yourself in such a way that you could earn their trust? How were you able to do that?
Well, I think it's more like, I think like the first speaker said, like the speaker, which is Elisha, right? That I listened to briefly. I think it just has to do with consistency because uh,
Consistent.
the first time you start something, people think maybe you're just doing it for maybe the wrong reasons. Maybe you're doing it because you know a friend who's doing great, maybe traveling around or having so much media attention. Maybe you want to do the same thing. So, but once they see that consistency, that you keep doing it, regardless. I remember when I think I was 19 and I created this social network, and there was this gentleman who reached out to the platform, and he reached out to me and said to me, "I love this platform you guys, you and your twin brother created. Keep doing the good work. So people are watching, regardless, you might think people are not watching right now, but people are watching, and they just want to see you consistently do what you're doing over a period of time, and then they'll reach out to you. So just keep doing what you're doing." And that's what I kept doing. I just kept doing what I wanted to do. I did not really care about the awards or the accolades or the attention. Just kept doing it. And then I realized someday, it's more like this saying that if you make a better mousetrap than your neighbor, the world will make a beating path to your doorstep. So I just kept doing it over and over again. And then I realized one day I just woke up and I realized that people, were just reaching out gradually. First, one person, two persons, three persons. That's how it comes. It's not like a quick thing, right? It's something that takes a long time. It doesn't take.
Good. Because I wanted to get there. That's yeah. From what you're saying now, okay. So let me tell you what I've understood from what you said, because I think that one of the challenges we have in the world today, I hope our viewers are seeing this, is that we have a lot of people who want to, in Nigerian parlance, they want to blow now. They want to become popular now. I mean, they just woke up sometime in March and said, look at this Chidi. I went to school with him. What? I'm going to start trying to do my own stuff. And then there's that unnecessary pressure, competition. Meanwhile, long before you even became visible, you have been doing this. You said something, you didn't even really care about the outcome. You just wanted to be consistently doing what you did, and then of course, one day it began to culminate. So that means that it does take time, doesn't it, to be able to break into that level of trust?
I think the time that it takes is what keeps those that are not really driven away from getting to the goal. That time, because you realize that those that are not really driven or motivated, then they just drop out, all of a sudden. But those that have that drive and that real reason why they are doing what they are doing, they are the ones that get to the end point, because regardless of the slow results, they are willing to see it through. So yeah, I think that time, I appreciate time, because time is what separates those that don't really have the drive from those that have the drive. Yeah.
Okay, sorry, we lost you. We lost you briefly. The last thing you said.
Yeah, so I said that I appreciate time, and I really like the concept of time, because it separates those that are just in it for the short time and those that are in it for the long time. So time is what separates them. Those that are not really driven or motivated are the ones that drop off, and those that are very motivated and willing to see it through are the ones that just keep going until
Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
until they get it.
So appreciating time really separates the winners from the others. The winners from
Yeah.
the others. Okay. So
All right.
if you were just so that a lot of young, I mean, the generation that is being accused of Yahoo are within your age bracket. They are within the bracket of successful young man. I don't know if you follow the NSAS process that happened in Nigeria a few weeks back. There was this spate of violence, and the issue was that certain young men within an age bracket were being accused, for trying to do what you had been doing for a long time. on the average, how long would you, if someone started today now, I mean, all under normal temperature and pressure, how long would you encourage them to stay buried in work before they hope to see visible success? Because I really want to drive home that to build a personal brand is not, yeah, I think it's so important for us because we are held to higher standards. I'm sure you know that. All over the world, you will not be easily forgiven for a mistake you made that someone else from a first world country will be forgiven because it is assumed that the person made a mistake. But you, they might be like, oh, you don't know it. You just got lucky the first time. How long would you encourage people to really put their backs in it before they start seeking the recognition that comes with, successfully growing something, a business, a brand, or in a career, for instance? I mean, just your own opinion. How long will you tell them to put their backs into it?
Indefinitely. That's what I would tell them.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that sounds like we're going to wait forever.
Not really. Because why I say indefinitely is because it takes different times for different persons, And I'm not the kind of person that like comparison, I do not compare my
Yes,
journey
of
with the
course.
journey of somebody else. And I don't want anybody to compare their journey with mine. And because, it might work for me within 5 years, but it might work for someone within 10 years. It can even work for somebody within 5 days. Everybody's different, right? I keep telling people that success um, is a journey that everybody, just like how you ask, if I ask you, how long do you think somebody has, to live on earth? Obviously nobody knows, right? Everybody,
Really. Yeah.
exactly. So that's the same thing with success.
Same
Or,
thing.
if you're trying to build a brand, it takes, it can take as long as possible. Some people never, some people put so much hard work into it, but they never get through. But some people don't do it and it just happens. Some people have no intent on even becoming famous,
They
and it just
just
happens, right? Yeah.
yeah.
I remember in 2018, I I said to myself I wanted to go back and and build my LinkedIn profile. And I just, what I do is that every day I wake up and I just post something, I just share something. And I said to myself, I wanted to also celebrate my little wins as well. And so what I did is that for every progress I make in business, I share it. And then I discovered that by the end of 2019, it was like I had over 60,000 followers on LinkedIn. And it was just consistency, right? It just over time. And I had no idea when it happened. All I just realized was that I just consistently shared content for 2 years and it happened. But you see, some people have been on LinkedIn since 2010 or 2013 and still have no traction, right? So I
None.
believe I just believe it's relative. It's a relative time. So I would use the word indefinite. Yeah.
Indefinitely. I think that's honest enough. At least I think it's important that everyone needs to be able to weigh the different industries they belong to watch how those who have become leaders, what they did to gain traction. I mean, like you said, do not still compare yourself, but use it to guide yourself. You know, use it to put in the work what you want to do. So were there any specific tech tools that you use? I mean, I know you're a tech entrepreneur, so that settles that. But as we begin to, while we're still in the COVID era, there was a huge awakening in most countries to the need for social online branding. A lot of people became awake to the fact that, oh, I'm home now and I have a business I cannot attend to because my business is offline. I need to take it online. I need to make sure I'm visible. But I also need, I'm not offline. I have a big business. Online, I'm barely known and I want to do something. What tools do you recommend we can use to help? The word fast track is not the word I want to use, but basically to help make your progress more effective as you start to brand yourself, because a lot of us will not get to meet with the people with whom we can do business with, interact with, but we need to be seen as people of value. What tools do you recommend that we can use? You talked about LinkedIn and sharing the power of being consistent on LinkedIn. What other tools do you think we can add to our toolbox to help us show up consistently and authentically?
Yeah, so the number one I would say is social media, because almost everybody is, uses some social network or another. I used LinkedIn because I wanted to reach out to professionals. But then, you might want to reach out to a different audience, and you have to know your target audience, right? You might want to be famous as a video content creator, and maybe LinkedIn is not the right place. And so, where you need to go to would be places like Instagram, right? Or maybe TikTok. It depends on exactly what exactly you want to do, as what you want people to know you as. I have a friend who leverages heavily on YouTube and Instagram to share her content to people, because she wants to be known as a video content creator. And so I would just say, first, try and leverage on social networks, social media, consistently share your content, and create engaging content that people are very driven to want to share. So more like highly engaging content. And then after that, you can there's this tool I used, called brandyourself.com. So what brandyourself.com does is that,
Brandyourself.com.
yeah,
Okay.
what it does is that
Okay.
it helps you to monitor your personal brand, or your brand in general. It lets you know what's hotting and what's really helping your brand. It's just a way. I got to know about it from one of my teachers, at Meltwater Entrepreneur School of Technology. So he shared it with me, and since then I've been just, once in a while, I always go there to just check out my brand and just see how it's good. Also, you can use
Okay.
trends.google.com. Trends.google.com. It's more like, it's Google Trends, right? It helps you to monitor the wind.
Trends.com. So like
Trends.
spelt like trend.
Trends.google.com. And
Trend spelt like trend.
trends, yeah. I think I'm about to send it in a private chat. So trends.google.com. So Google Trends, that's what it's called, but that's the website, trends.google.com. And what it does for you is, it more like tells you how people search for you on Google, or just Google's your name. It just makes you understand where your fans, or people that really admire your work, where they come from, right? You get to know the region, and how often, and how the frequency in which they're Googling your name and stuff. It just helps you. And then you can maybe, if you have someone that you look up to, you can also compare your name and theirs together to see how big, in multiples they are above you. And so you get to know
Yeah.
the
Yes.
what you have to do to get, okay, maybe they are 12 times,
What you
they're
have
Google
to do
12 times more than
number
me.
one. Yeah.
So I need to, put 12 times more effort. So it just more like helps you to monitor your brand, and and let you know where you rank, in terms of your other people, that are doing similar things, in the industry. Well, for me, if somebody wants to build a personal brand, I would just, the first thing I would tell them is to lay a foundation. So you cannot be popular for nothing, right? You have to be popular for something. And you have to ask yourself, what am I good at? What is that thing that I know that I'm better at? Am I good at marketing? Am I good at advertising? Am I good at technology? Maybe software development? What am I good at? That I know that if people might be willing to learn this thing, might want to, acquire this knowledge from me. Then that's the foundation.
Okay.
Then when you think about what you are very good at and you can give to people, and people can really appreciate, ask yourself, what are the kinds of people that really want these kinds of knowledge? What people, if maybe I'm very good at marketing, what kinds of people are interested in to learn about marketing? What's their age range? What location? Where exactly are these persons? Are they, what social media are they found on? And then once you do that, consistently share your content, often, every day if you can, or maybe you can do it twice every week or three times every week. try and keep up to the frequency, because people are very, they take note about frequency, the way in which you do things, and so like I post about entrepreneurship at least every day. But sometimes I might not be so active, because I have a day job as well, running a startup company. So maybe I might post 5 times a week, or maybe 4 times. But I make sure it's not less than 4 times a week. So I just give myself that minimum that I cannot,
Oh,
go be, I cannot go be, below. Then once you do that, you're constantly sharing content. Ask yourself, I want to create a visibility strategy. I want to create a part in which people can get to know me. Now, that's why, someone asked me a question. You're so busy. How, why do you still, accept public speaking when people
where do
invite
you
you to
find the
speak?
time? Because I was going to ask you that question. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
And I said to them that public speaking is part of my visibility part. When I was trying to, I said to myself, I want to be more visible. Public speaking was one of the things that I said to myself that I was going to do to get more visible, because people get to know you, from different parts, and some people definitely get to know me from this summit, and so that's a way in which I've
Yeah.
reached out. I've gotten a new person, to know about me. So I said to myself, public speaking is something that I'm going to always say yes to, more as my visibility part. So it's more like my own personal way to also get more visible. Some people have different ways. You can say, okay, I want to do guest blogging. So guest blogging could be, maybe you find out what popular blog, talks about my niche. Oh, there's this blog, constantly talks about marketing. So I'll reach out to them and tell them that I am a marketing guru, and I want to constantly share my content with your readers. And so they can make you an author on the blog, and then you constantly share your content, right? So that guest blogging can also help you to become more visible. But I do not do guest blogging. My part was, public speaking and interviews and PRs. So I did interviews. Is that when people reach out to me to conduct an interview, being written or in person or via virtually, I also say yes to it, because it's part of my visibility plan. Also PRs. It's amazing what PRs can do for a company and for a person in particular. I remember in February 2018, my company became a finalist at a Harvard competition. And the funny thing was that I only knew this because Harvard reached out to me and said, "Hey, your company, we've selected your company as one of the 10 finalists, and so you'll be coming to Boston, to pitch about your business." And I was excited, so I shared about this on my Facebook. Then I realized that this actually, because there was a lot of reaction on my Facebook, and I realized that this potentially has, is PR material. People, we really want to know that a Nigerian startup company
Absolutely. Yeah.
is going to Harvard to talk about their business. And I said, okay, I think I need to do a PR about this. And then I reached out to a couple of journalists, mostly bloggers, and I just shared it with
Oh, I
them.
see. Oh,
And then,
that's a brilliant strategy.
yeah, then I slept and I woke up the next morning and I was all over the internet. Like I could tell that at least over 400 media outlets, blogs, magazines, newspapers wrote about that single event. And I was like, it was like everything. We literally broke the internet that day, and
Wow. Did
there
you did
was
you
no
have to pay for it? You had to pay for it.
no. I did not pay. So that's what I'm trying to explain to you. So I realized that this was PR material. This is something that people wanted to,
Yeah.
And so I said to myself, let me see how I can do it. So I just reached out to a couple of them. I reached out to them via email, via Facebook, via social media, and said, guys, my company is going to Harvard to compete with other startups, and we are one of the 10 finalists worldwide. And that was all, and they had to do the rest. It just went crazy. I remember when I woke up, that was February in 2018, and we're everywhere. And I said to myself, there's power in PR. So
There is
whenever
power. Yes.
yeah, huge power in PR, yeah. And I said, this would have just, been swept under the rug. And people wouldn't have known about this if I did not leverage on PR. So I also put PR part of my visibility plan. So there's so many ways in which you can put just but consciously tell yourself, I want to get more, I want to get more visible to people, and I want people to get to know about me. There's nothing wrong in trying to be famous. I keep telling people, I do not know why people say, no, I don't like being famous. If you don't like being famous, that does not mean that somebody else doesn't like being famous, and doesn't make it wrong. I want to be famous. I want people to know me before I, shake hands with them. So I do not want to have to constantly tell you that, hello, I'm Chidi Wogu. No, I want to shake hands with you and say, hello, I'm Chidi, and then you complete it. Yeah, you're Wogu. Yeah, I know about you. And
I like
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
because sorry to interrupt you, because so in the process of talking about personal branding, people's fear, it's either not very familiar to people, or people are embarrassed to be seen to be publicly promoting their personal brands, because there's a underlying belief that it's vain to promote yourself. Like we're saying personal branding is for bragging and showing up and trying to say, look, I'm all that, take a look at me. And whenever I have to talk with people, I try to convince them that, look, you have something to give. You should be proud to share that. Like, you need to know why you want to be known. So you really touched on a nerve here by saying, look, if you want to be famous, own that decision, because it will drive what you do, and it will not, you won't be feeling disempowered for feeling that way if you accept that that's part of what you want. A lot of people deny it, so they keep holding themselves back, even when they have victories and things that can inspire others and lead to their fame or fortune. They hold back because that limiting belief tells them, it's not my place to promote myself, someone else should, and then I'll be seen as a. So I'm really glad you touched on that people really need to be honest about desiring to be successful and famous. Thank you very much for that idea, for that thought.
Yeah, you're welcome. But to me,
so please continue. You're sharing some very powerful points, especially about visibility strategy, and I'm taking notes, as you can see. So please go on. Do you have your questions for Chidi? I want people to know me before I shake hands with them. That's awesome. That's a quote right there.
Well, it's something that I keep telling people. It's not bragging if you have it, So I don't know why people say you're bragging. You're bragging obviously when you don't have it and you're just making noise, right? But if you do have it, then it's not bragging. You're literally telling them the truth. You're telling them fact, right? You're making them understand that you have it. And there's nothing wrong in telling people that I am. Actually, it starts from you, right? If you don't tell your story, who will, right? There's this
who will? That's right.
Yeah, and there's this saying that a friend of mine while I was at the university was telling me. He said, "Say I am, and people will say you are." So it starts from you. The moment you say to yourself that you are not good enough, obviously nobody's going to believe, that you're good enough. So more like success is two. There are two types of successes. The success that we all experience and people see is the second success. I keep telling people, the first success is in your head. It happens here. The first victory happens in your head. You have to first vision it. You have to first think about it. It has to all happen here. Then when it happens here, then that's when it can happen, in reality. You can never win if you don't win in it. So if you think that you don't deserve something, you don't deserve for people to know you, you're trying to dim your light. Obviously, it's not going to. You're going nowhere with that. So I do not see why people hide their star or something. I keep telling you, like, for example, look at Elon Musk, right? Elon Musk and Richard Branson, right? These guys, if you look at their social media following, you realize that they are heavily followed than their companies. So, like, Elon Musk has more followers than all his three companies combined, and you realize that he is literally driving his brands. Elon Musk is Tesla, right? Elon Musk is SpaceX, right? Without Elon Musk, this company cease to exist. He's the reason why people get to know about these companies. So if you grow a strong personal brand, you feed into your corporate brand. Whatever you're doing, feeds into it. Like, let me see if I can explain, because I like explaining from my own story, and I don't like explaining most of the story. So in 2017, I created a company called Publicia, right? Now, what Publicia do is that we work with writers, we work with musicians. And when I started with my twin brother, I had no personal brand like per se. I just had a good track record, but people didn't really know about my story. And so it took Publicia 3 years to achieve, what it's achieved, what it has achieved today. But then I created a program called Savvy about 4 months ago, and Savvy became more popular than Publicier within the same period. So Savvy is just 4 months old, Publicier is 3 years old, and Savvy has more popularity, in the ecosystem than Publicier has. And the question is why? And that's because when I created Savvy, I was already a personal brand, and people got to know about Savvy not because of Savvy, but because of me. People got to know about, yeah. And so I did this thing. I wanted to be sure that people that I was the person driving Savvy. So I did this thing. I shared I was sharing on Savvy social media, um, bios about the team members, so the mentors on Savvy. I kept sharing them, and then I realized that some mentors have 25 reaction, 60 reaction, 50 reaction. So, and some of them even have as low as 13. So I could tell which mentor people loved more. Then I shared my own bio on Savvy, and I had over like about 300 reaction. Then I realized that my reaction, the reaction that I received on the Savvy social media platform was more than 10 times that of the most popular mentor. And I realized that I was literally the person that made Savvy that popular. So it's nothing wrong, when you try to push your own personal brand or you try to blow your trumpet. It helps make marketing easier for you as a person. It makes it easy for you. You don't need to push too hard into it. For example, if Burna Boy releases a new album, it becomes instant hit. Why? Not because of the album. The album might be good, yes, but because of it has the name Burna Boy on it. Same thing with same. But if an unknown artist was to release same quality album, it might never have that same reaction as the album will. The name Burna Boy. So branding is very important. Once you slap a brand name to something, like you have a Nike. The shoe, the sneakers Nike are not the best. They're not, like, obviously there might be something out that's better, but once you slap the Nike swoosh and sign on it, that's tick. You realize that it sells more. Why? Because people already know it. People identify with it. So yeah, so it's important to take your branding very seriously. And if you have to blow your trumpet, blow it. And do not say, "Oh, this win is too small. People are doing even much bigger stuff, and why am I making noise?" No, own your wins. Even if they're small, celebrate them like they're everything to you. That's the only way you realize that you have. Celebrating your little wins give you the momentum or the energy. That interest, that drive and push that you need. That you need to move on to the next. Goal. But do not dwell on past glory. I keep telling people, do not be that person that tells people, "Hey, hello, oh, I'm Chidi. I created a company 10 years ago that had 1 million users." No, do not be that person that tells people about what you did 10 years.
Don't be that. Please say that again. Don't be that
Yeah,
person.
so, don't be the person that, that have to remind people about what you did 10 years ago. Try constantly to do something new. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, what's new? What can I do new today? Don't in a nutshell, don't dwell on past glory. Do not be that person that dwells on past glory. Don't be a washed up person that have to tell people, I was the person that single-handedly turned the Nigerian industry, music industry around, and paved the way for Wizkid and Davido. Don't be that person. Just be that person that that's constantly relevant over a period of time. Like, look, for example, Two-Face. He was in existence when the Nigerian music industry was still really growing and struggling, and he's still relevant right now.
Yes.
So you realize that. So that's the kind of brand you should create, a brand that is always relevant. Not a brand that that starts, and then at the end of the day you have to die off, and you have to tell people that I was big, back in the day. No, don't do that. Yeah.
Not working, not working. Okay,
No, no, no.
so I noticed when we were reading, I mean, I couldn't capture, we couldn't capture everything when we were reading your bio, but your CV tells us you have a lot of fellowships. You are part of several fellowships all over the world. Is there any reason? So I have two questions. Is there any reason why that is? And number two, what is it doing for you? Because I'm pretty sure being part of these fellowships is doing something for your brand. Should our audiences be paying attention to these acts? Because I know that you can say anything, but what you do is what we are going to follow. I can see, and I hope that they can go, when they go back, they watch it again and hear the things that you are part of. Why are you in so many fellowships? How did you get into all these fellowships? And what is being part of this fellowship doing for your brand?
So the why for me is that I want to more like build a network. So for every fellowship you get part of, you realize that you're part of a family. You're part of people. Like when I started the Savvy program, I realized that I reached out to 45 persons that I met during my numerous fellowship around the world, and then all of them responded back to me that they wanted to be part of the team that will help mentor these entrepreneurs. And it was so amazing how these people turned up for me, and they were all in all volunteer capacities. That means I was not paying them. These were people that they've done amazing things in their place, in their walks of life, and they have decided to transfer that knowledge to the people that will join the Savvy program, not because of they just want to give out their time, but because they trust me. They know, they believe in me. I'm one of their family. Like I'm more like a family to them, and so they will do anything for me. So that's what I know. This fellowship helps me to grow my
Connected to
network.
like-minded people.
Yeah, and get the support of people that are doing amazing things around. Because you cannot build in isolation. I keep saying it. You can't grow in isolation. A plant cannot grow in isolation. It needs sunlight, right? It needs water. That means that it needs to be exposed. Same thing as human beings. If you want to grow your personal brand, you want to get from point A to point B, you can't do it alone. Nobody's an island. So if you really want to really grow, you need the help of others, and that's what this fellowship does for me. And what's the next question?
How did you get in? How did you get in? You've answered why.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. Also, another reason why is that it helps me to rethink, my purpose, my vision, my mission of the business, and how I really want to go, from now forward. I remember when I joined Unity Youth Fellowship, they gave me so many thought-provoking questions, not only about myself, but about the business, that made me to rethink the entire purpose of the business. And so when I came out of the program, my understanding about my business was 100 times more than how I got into the program. So, they'll help you to because you're introduced to mentors as well in the program. So these mentors help you to fine-tune your idea, help you to fine-tune your product, help you to fine-tune your service, so you come out even a much better person, personally and also otherwise. And how I got into it is more like, I think humility is very important. I keep telling people that when you're applying to fellowship programs, do not tell them like that you are everything. Obviously, when I apply to fellowship programs, I do not list my biography the way it appears on my LinkedIn. I tell them not only who I am, I tell them what I want. So these fellowship programs are not looking for Elon Musk. They're not looking for Bill Gates. They're looking for people that are willing to learn, people that are open to learning, people that understand that are that humble, to understand that they've made mistakes and that they are willing to learn, from these mistakes. So while I'm applying to these fellowship programs, I tell them what I've done on my own, and I tell them what I've done with the help of people around me, and I tell them that looking at what I've done with the help of people around me, I realize that I grow faster. And so I'm applying to this fellowship program because I've seen that it has helped other people. And maybe I might even name a couple of them that I know. And I said, I think I wanted to do exactly what it did for Prince. I wanted to do exactly what it did for this person. when they came to the fellowship program, I realized that they, became even much better. And I want to be a better person. And that's why I'm applying here. So you need to let them know what you want exactly out of life, what you want exactly out of business, and tell them why you think they are the right people to do it for you. It's that easy, right? Do not get into there and start saying, oh, I have this, I have that, I have a PhD in gender empowerment. No, that's not what they're really looking for. They're looking for people that are humble and willing to learn and unlearn and relearn. So I think that's how I got into it. Yeah.
Okay, so have you answered all the questions there? Okay, yeah, you have 3 questions: the how,
Okay.
the why, and there was one more question. Okay, so
Yeah.
there was something you said that I have never looked at. You said something about having a track record. I'm just rephrasing it now. Having a track record is different from having a personal brand. I have never seen it the way you have just said it. In other words, a lot of people just post what they do online, right? But not sufficiently and not strategically enough for them to have a personal brand. So they have a lot of successes. I mean, there was a post I wanted to put out when I was running the campaign for this summit, and it was about a lady. This lady has anytime I meet her, I'm amazed at the exposure she has. She's been on international television several times for her gifts. She's authored 3 books. She's constantly here and there, but on social media, she almost has no real presence, and she can tell that something is lacking. Like, we ought to be her name ought to be drawing people to a brand because of how much she has accomplished. Yet she doesn't command that kind of attention. So how do we leave the line of being track record keepers to now turning successful track records into personal brands? Because I'm pretty sure a lot of people who are coming on board here are people who have achieved something, no matter how little, but they don't know what to do to make themselves now become known as a brand, the brand that they can expand on. What do we do? What do we do? Please, I hope you are leaving your questions in the comment section so that Chidi can take them. This has been an awesome session, hasn't it? Chidi is so full of practical words. I'm just excited. I could be interviewing him for myself.
Well, for the answer you said, the answer, if I'm to just give it short answer, she has to blow. You have to blow your trumpet. And that's what
She has to
do.
blow.
Blow it, just blow it. I don't know why people, anyway, I think I was guilty of the same thing she was guilty of. I sold 2 companies and people even didn't know that I existed. Only just few people around me that knew that you've done this. I remember when I sold my first company and someone reached out to me and said, wow, I've never met a Nigerian who sold their business to a foreign, to a Canadian or an American company. And that was in 2012. And how did you do it? And then I realized that what I did was actually good, but I did not feel it was important to tell people about that story. So I was not blowing my trumpet. I was not even telling people about it. And it was really wrong. It was until like about 6, 7, 8 years I told people about what I did 8 to 7 years ago.
Way back, yeah.
And I realized that, it was wrong. And so what you should do as a person is that once something happened to you and you understand, that this is good, tell people about it. Don't only tell people that you did it. Tell people how you did it. Because people are excited to not only read about your success story. They want to know how you achieved it. And so once you tell them how you achieved it, it generates more reaction. So there was this guy that was trying to get an award, and he applied for 7 times. And he made an article about how he applied for the award 7 times in 7 years until he got it, and how he changed teams until he got it. Like, he explained to them everything in details, and the article got a lot of reactions. Now, people were not only crazy about his persistency or how dedicated he was, to do something for 7 years, but they were really, excited to know how he did it, so that they know how to do theirs. So that was where most of the attention was drawn from. People wanted to know how to do it. People are constantly looking for people how.
The how tells them that they can attempt to do it themselves. Yeah. So the how
I
is
always
very
tell people
important.
that success can be replicated. Like I keep telling people that stuff. Like if Dangote tells you exactly that Dangote can build another Dangote, he can build another Aliko Dangote, and the only way he can do it is by telling somebody, "This is how I did it, step by step." And if the person follows the same step, they will achieve the same thing. That's how success is. It's replicable, right? Only if you share the information that you did. And so people are constantly looking for how to learn from somebody. How to learn. How did you do it? I remember someone walking to me and said to me, like, how did you do it? And I just told the person in maybe I sat the person down for like 15 minutes and I just told them what I did. And I said, if you want to know more, you can always reach out to me and I can help you, if you want to, if you're really, interested to get
Really, yeah.
there. Yeah, but it's not going to be that easy. So don't think you just get there in 2 minutes. No, 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 no. You might get there in 10 years, actually. That's the funny thing. You might get there in 10 days, 10 months, I don't know exactly, but you should be willing to put in the work, So if something happens to you, tell people about it and tell them how you did it. Don't be so scared. I've seen some people that are scared to tell people how they did something because they're like, oh, everybody will then do it. I literally don't know how my
It's a thing in Nigeria where people want to be seen as mysteriously wealthy people. We can't tell you our source of wealth now. You will copy us and then we won't be so important anymore. Not knowing that even the habits that you form to become that kind of person that can reproduce that source, you can't copy it. No matter how much you dream, no matter how much I want to be like Chidi, Chidi has a mindset. Chidi has value systems. Chidi has a habit, a way he works. There's certain kinds of knowledge that Chidi has. You can't copy that. So sharing the how does not mean, and you're right, a lot of us have had to overcome that fear of sharing it and then making it trivializing the effort that it took to become successful. Yeah. So just to add to that.
Yeah, I remember one day I went on LinkedIn and I shared my application answers to 5 fellowship programs I got into, and somebody asked me, "Why would you do that?" And I said the reason why I did that was because your success does not affect mine. You get into the program, you get into the fellowship program. You're a fellow, I'm a fellow. The whole world is a better place. I don't see the reason why my own fellowship, affects yours. And I'm not the kind of person that wants you to constantly look up to me. I look up to so many people that are also in the same program as I am. I don't have to look up to people that because they are in somewhere that I'm not. People can still look up to you even when you are colleagues. Because they admire things that you're doing and how you're doing it. So don't be scared to tell people how you got there. The sky is enough for everybody to fly, and we're not going to collide. So just share. Be open minded to sharing, and obviously the more you share, the more you get. Obviously you cannot give it a closed hand, right? So you only received when your hands are open, and that's the only, and that way you also give as well. So you give and get. You give and get, and obviously what we get from the universe is what we give. So try as much as possible. For every win you have, try and see as much as someone you can help, to achieve the same greatness. Because greatness is nothing if you don't help other people to achieve it too.
Okay. So I am big on mindset. I think that mindset, everything rises and falls on the quality of your mindset. So when I was trying to do a post about you, we're just gonna write something. Chidi did attain this, attain that. He has this. I'm like, no, no, no. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not always interested in what the person has achieved. I want to know the person behind. What makes that person tick? How does he think? What does he look at? What are his perspectives? Please, I want you to share a little bit on the power of your mindset and how it turned you into this kind of person that you are today. That's number one. Number two, you say you're a twin. There's this local folk tales that twins are special. They have one special thing that makes them prone to super success. Maybe there's a story there. Maybe you'd like to share. So please start with start with your mind and what you think, how you think, so that those who are watching today and those who will watch the replays know that it's beyond just having proof of success. There is something that goes on the inside before it becomes visible success.
Well, Yeah, I think the mindset really is important, and there's this saying that my mom always tell me. She says this thing. She says, two things I will tell you about my mindset. So the first mindset, and they came from things that, I watched my mom say while I was growing up. She said something to me. She said that wherever your heart is where your treasure lies. So wherever your treasure is where your heart lies, right? So that means that you only find important the things that your heart desires, right? And people are interested in money, right? And I've realized that when you're interested in just making money, people are, you hardly make money and you hardly even get to where you want to get to. So you need to focus on something else. You need to focus on maybe offering value, maybe achieving excellence, or getting perfect results. You need to, that's what you should focus on. And then maybe eventually, you achieve, success. I remember in I think it was in 2018, I said to myself, I don't want to be the guy that's always focused on having to make money and selling components around. I want to be the guy that also gives back to society. And you don't have to be Bill Gates to give back to society. You
No.
want, you can give back with whatever little you have. And so I started focusing more on what I wake up in the morning and I tell, and I more like I grade the success I had based on how many, the people's life I was able to impact that day. And so thinking that way changed the exact way, changed in fact my entire personality. People did not respect me because uh, of what I've
Money you have.
achieved. Yeah, but they respected me because of what I've done, for other people. And then I experienced real happiness, and two, I experienced true respect. People, when respecting you not because because of, oh, this guy
Not the
we try.
kind of fake respect because he's an important person. We need to treat him like this, but
Yeah, there was this.
genuine respect
Yeah,
for your
you could
person.
tell. I could
Yeah.
tell the difference. The difference of people respecting you because you've traveled around the world, and the reason, and the difference because people are respecting you because you've genuinely changed their lives. And so I said to myself, I think this is who I want to be. For the rest of my life, I want to focus on changing
Yeah.
people's lives, not by
Nothing beats that,
offering,
really.
but changing their mindset, or maybe helping them, giving them, giving them knowledge or skill, like stuff like that. And another thing that changed my mindset was when my mom always said this thing. And sorry, I always say about my mom because, but she
No,
was
it's
more like
fine. We
my
can't
role model.
overlook the people
Yeah,
who really, I mean, I share about the people who have influenced my life. I share about them all the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Something she said to me, it has to get ugly before it gets pretty. And then, when you hear that sentence, it's really scary when they tell you that it has to first get ugly before it gets pretty.
It
You
is
say to
scary.
yourself, so you mean that my life has to be like in the worst possible condition before everything becomes good? You begin to be scared. But then in 2016, I went through a life changing experience that made me to really understand what she meant. So
What
I
she
had a car
meant.
accident in 2016, and when I came
Wow.
out of my car, I came out with bruises. But then when I
Wow.
looked at the car was in a mess. It was like completely messed up, and I was excited that I came out alive, but then I was so sad that it ruined my car. So I said to myself, okay, I'm going to take this to the auto workshop to get it fixed. So when I got there, I told them, okay, it's pencil gray color. I want to make it white color. I want you to change the color of the car. I've always wanted a white vehicle. So why don't I use the opportunity to make a white vehicle?
Yeah.
And then I went out and came back. And this guy's like literally took my car parts. Like this was here, this was there. I could not understand. I could not even see my car. It was like it was completely ripped apart. Then and I said to them like, is this necessary? Like, do you guys have to tear the entire car apart before you can you can put it back in order? And the guy was like, yes. I have to rip it apart so I can paint every single corner of the car because the car even there's different colors in the car that you need to paint. Then I sat down and looked at the car. It was so ugly. Then I remembered what my mom said. It has to get ugly before it
Yes.
gets pretty.
Okay. Okay.
And I said, okay, let's hope it gets pretty. So I came back 2 weeks after. And when I saw the car, it was like brand new. Like this guy's like, when I saw the car, it remembered me of the day I bought it, but this time a different color. And then I really said to myself, okay, it's really true that sometimes before something really
Right?
gets good,
Life principle. Yes.
yeah, it has to really get bad.
Aha
And
moment.
so, and whenever I'm going through a really tough time or a really hard time, I always tell myself it has to get ugly before it gets pretty, and that thing, keeps me moving forward.
Going.
Waiting for the time when it gets, when it gets good. Yeah.
Chidi, you have been such an awesome guest. I have enjoyed our conversation. It has energized me as I think it has energized our viewers. A lot of people, this is time for weddings. And sometimes when you don't really know what you're capable of, when you don't really know the goal, you go for the wedding instead of being at a conference like this. But I'm pretty sure we got a lot of reaction when we put your story out there. And the things you are sharing, your name has corresponded with your person. You can have a popular name, and then when we meet, you'll be disappointed, right? You have shown. Don't mind me, I can be very like that. So I'm really glad to have had this conversation with you. You are the kind of people we hope to continually project to young Nigerians out there that it's possible. I'm going to ask you one more question, and then if there are any other questions, I'll take them. But you have a lot of comments. People are putting them on the screen. I'm sure you can see them. Have you ever struggled with you have gone on to become like a pace setter? Was there any time that you struggled with accepting this role you now enjoy? Many times a lot of people, we can look back, even stories of the Bible. Moses come and carry people. Oh, I don't want to go. I don't like that place. I can't even speak well. Like a lot of people who were called to greatness seem to be reluctant to accept that role. Were you once like that? Because it's something, there will be a day when you just realize, I'm actually a leader of people. I've been called to greatness. You just recognize it, But then a lot of people hold back. No, I don't want to be kicked out of the crew, the gang. I don't want to be seen as weird because I'm sounding like this. I don't want to be too far apart from my peers. Did you ever experience that when your journey began?
I think I experienced mine more later. I remember a time where I felt like I was getting too exposed, and I felt like it was not making me a normal person. And so when I wanted
like you be lonely, right? Like the road to success is a bit lonely.
Or that I was under so much scrutiny. I got to a point where I just did not want to be. I had this reluctance to walk down the road. I had this reluctance to go to certain places because somebody would definitely recognize me. I remember when I got to
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, so that was the funny thing about it.
Hadn't heard about you, didn't know you, nothing at all. So there are a lot of us that don't know you.
Yeah, but
a lot of people are going to know you from this conference, this summit.
But you need to know how I felt when I went to Computer Village. It's somewhere in Ikeja in Lagos.
Yes,
And then before I left there, I met 3 persons that said they knew me. And when they're shaking me, they shake me in such a way that makes me feel a little bit. I think I'll be like, this is too much. They shake me and they bow, and I'm like, this is too much.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, and sometimes it makes me feel a little bit that, okay, what if this person, meets me, because I'm a regular human being like them. I speak pidgin English. I eat weird food, and I'm crazy at times. I'm like, I can be a really crazy person. When someone gets to know me in person, I can be very crazy. But then I'm scared. Like, what if they get to know the crazy part about me? Will they really like me that much? Will they still respect me? When they realize that I'm goofy sometimes. I say, I'm a human being.
No, everyone has. Let me help you. You know how you are when you are out on stage. You wear suits. You sound smart. At home, nobody thinks you're all that. They know how you smell. They know how you behave. If they knew that you were that goofy person around those people, would they think you were all that? Something like that. That part that only your family or really close friends get to see.
So I got to a point I was like, I don't think this fame stuff is for me. I want to be a normal person. But then I said to myself, I've started, and I'm this kind of person, I do not I never do things halfway. I never do things halfway. It's either I do it completely or I don't do it at all. And I said, okay, you've already started already. You can never be that guy that does something half baked. Keep going. And as much as I do not, I want to live a normal life. It's as much as I want the whole world to know me. I want to literally sit on TV and watch two people argue about me. It's actually a good feeling. I don't know if it has ever happened to you, but it has happened to me. It has
Not
happened
yet.
to me. It has happened to me. I
Wow.
watched somebody tell me about I watched somebody tell me about me without knowing it was me. And
Wow.
I was like, "There's this guy. He's this, he's that," and I was like, "Really? Tell me more." And I was surprised because obviously you know my name, but you don't know me in person. Like, how is that possible? I was happy, but funny thing was that 95% of what he told me about cheating was wrong. Funny thing. And then I said, it made me understand that once you get popular, 95% of the things that people know about you are completely
Will
false.
be wrong. Okay.
Yeah.
This thing now, this is bringing me, when I was preparing for this summit, there were a couple of people who felt personal branding. I don't want to be seen as deliberately crafting my brand. I don't want to be popular like that. I mean, I want to be, but I don't want to be seen as trying to be popular. And then I don't want to become successful because I'm afraid of what that success can bring. I'm afraid of how to handle it. You understand? And I'm afraid that I will go ahead and I will fail because everyone, a lot of people sabotage their successes because of this thing that you. So, how eventually did you overcome it? I want our viewers to know that if you can overcome it, own your brand, and proudly begin to, like you said, blow your trumpet about the things that are true. How did you overcome? How did you not sabotage yourself? There are so many people that have stopped halfway. They were going somewhere, they got to 40%, they realized that, oh my God, I'm getting scrutinized. I'm not sure I can deal with this. And then they shrink. They shrink back, they go and hide, and they never follow their heart's desire. How did you now overcome it? Because fame comes with a price.
Yeah. Well, I think that what made me able to overcome it is because I already started and I said to myself, I can't stop. I don't want to be that person that, I don't want people to say, where did Chidi go? Like, there was this guy called Chidi and he was doing great. I don't know, where did he go? What happened to him? So I don't want that to happen to me. And I don't want people to, to see me that way. But I'm this kind of person, I do not believe that we should live by rules, right? So try and achieve fame. And whatever way you handle it is the right way. That's what I keep saying. Why should people tell you how you should handle fame? I don't believe people should tell you how you should handle fame. The way you handle fame is the right way. And obviously some people handle fame poorly, some people handle it perfectly. If you handle it poorly, it's still fine. It's the way you handled it, right? Justin Bieber, right? He handled it great. He was young, so he got into a lot of problems.
Now, he's
But it's
all
still fine. He eventually learned from it. Now if you look at him, he's changing. He's completely different. So I think handle fame. If you handle it badly, you learn from it. You keep getting better. So there's nothing wrong. Don't be scared of it. Oh, maybe if I get there, I might not be able to handle it. Trust me, you'll be able to do it. If you're strong enough to get there, you'll be strong enough to handle it.
You're strong enough to handle fame. Thank you so much, Chidi. This has been such an awesome and valuable session with you. Do we have any questions in the house before Chidi runs away again? We don't know when next we'll catch him like this. Any questions? The way you handle fame is the right way. Yeah, so quite a few comments here. I think one thing I'm going to walk away with today is never do things halfway. So recently while I was preparing for this summit, I have this friend who always teases me. So he observed that I had put in quite a bit of effort in trying to get the summit going. We try to look for really, really brilliant minds. We try to, to do the best we could with our signature, with our brand, what we're projecting. So he reached out to me. He's based in Oman, and he says, what is going on here? I mean, I can't even believe this is you, because the old you I knew would like, oh, this thing is stressful, I'm going to give it up. So I told him that my husband challenged me, and said that I'm not doing some things full-heartedly. I need to stop being half-hearted. So I'm angry, and I'm going to try and put in my best. Whether it succeeds or not, I'm going to try and put in my best. You have just buttressed that philosophy for me now. Nothing or all law. Either you go all the way or nothing at all. And so I'm really grateful that you shared that. I'm waiting to see if there are any comments in the section. If there are not, I will reluctantly release you, because I could go on this conversation for much longer. I'm really inspired by what you have achieved, Chidi. You have shared so much value here, and real practical steps that we can take to building a personal brand. I think that the visibility strategy that you listed, I'm going to look at it personally and try to work on my own brand, as well as encourage other viewers of this summit to apply them to their brands as well. Thank you very much, Chidi. Keep soaring. If you want to follow Chidi, you are Chidi Wongo on all your social media handles.
Yeah, same profile picture. So you
Same
can't miss it.
picture, same name, right?
Yeah, same name, same
Okay, same
Chiwo. Just
name. People look for him on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, same name, and you'll be good. I'm pretty sure that just watching how Chidi demonstrates his skill, his style as a personal brand, establishes something, his authority, and you can learn a lot from his style. Chidi, thank you. Somebody is asking a question. As a
yeah.
young
So
person in this present age, is it really mandatory to get a tech skill? Are you must someone have a tech skill?
yeah. So it depends on what you mean by tech skill, but I would say yeah. At least you should be able to handle the computer. You should be able to do certain things with the computer. You should be able to send an email. You should be able to create a social media profile and manage it. But I wouldn't say you should be able to be a software developer or you should be a data analyst. No, no, no. I am a software developer because I wanted to do that. If you look, for example, Steve Jobs, right? He was not a software developer. He was rather a product manager. So was a product person. So you do not have to be a software developer to be able to create a tech product. You can have people, you can work with people. Like I said, you cannot do nothing great in this world is achieved alone. So you can always get people, gather people around. But yeah, if you need to have basic tech skills, I would say
Basic tech skills. So I hope that Femi got that. You need to have I mean, I used to laugh at myself and call myself a dinosaur, but I didn't come here to carry laughs. So even though I don't belong to the tech generation, by all means, I'm not going to be left behind. Like you said, we don't want to be washed up and saying, "Oh, I used to be great when I was young." It's because I fell out of the bandwagon. No, 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 no. We are not going to be. We are not going to be people like that. So thank you, Chidi, for the time you have spent with us today. It has been time well spent, and we're going to make sure that we apply what you've shared so that we can be more powerful brands in 2021 moving forward. It's been an honor having you here. We'll be in touch.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bless
Bye.
you. Bye. So people, I don't know what you thought of this session, but this session was explosive for me. I shared many, many things. He shared many, many things that I am lacking in my own personal brand, and I'm going to be applying it to mine as soon as possible. I want to thank all the guests who took time to be with us throughout this morning session. We're going to be taking a break now, and we're going to see you by 5:30, where we're going to be having architect Ape Harrison. We're going to be having Fahe El Fayez, and we're going to be having John Obidi to round up the summit. Please don't go away. If you are yet to subscribe, please subscribe. And if you are yet to share the link so that others can watch, please share the link. It's been a pleasure being your host this afternoon. I look forward to seeing you again this evening. Have a good day, and I'll see you in the evening.